Alrighty, guys, we are live. No intro screen today. How's everybody doing in chat? How you guys doing today? Hope everybody's been enjoying Helldiving recently, or if you're waiting for the new update, we definitely all understand. But welcome back to another Helldivers Experience podcast. A podcast brought to you by two very experienced Helldivers, and obviously the one that they made the muscle armor after. Today we brought back Clay, and we brought back FaZe. Welcome, guys.
Yo.
Let's get brothers.
Welcome. Make sure you guys go check them out. I'm sure everyone in here already has, because we've had them on before, but their links are in the description and the pinned comment. I'm sure everybody here is going to be back on Helldivers in the new update. Today, in this podcast, we're going to discuss some of the new update. We're going to discuss, the difficulty we're expecting and what we want with Super Helldive Difficulty, how hard it should be, maybe what kind of modifiers there will be, stuff like that. We will talk. We're going to do a buffed primary weapon tier list, so it'll be like a reverse tier list, basically, of what we want buffed, what we want nerfed, what should be reverted, stuff like that. And then we've got some other cool news, just some random other news stuff going on in today's podcast. How's everyone doing in chat? And if you guys are watching this after the live,
Like the Discord, join the stream.
yeah, join the stream. Be sure to like the Discord. Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Share the stream. Share the stream.
Demonetized. Yeah.
Oh, demonetized. Sorry, Pips, I can't pay you for this one. Anyways.
Hold on a minute. What? You slipped up. You slipped up.
Anyways, we've got update on the major orders, which was kill 1.5 billion enemies or get the anti-tank mines. Obviously, the Helldivers had to choose between one or the other. We are 33% of the way there with less than 2 days left. And I'm pretty sure this was a 4-day major order, so it looks like we're cooked, boys. We are unfortunately getting the anti-tank mines. As everyone knows, we had to choose between...
Unfortunately?
We had to... I wanted the 40 medals, okay? I needed the 40 medals. You gotta understand.
Surely.
I think the cap, but I still wanted the 40 medals. And every time Arrowhead tries to offer us the anti-tank mines, we get a little upset. We get a little mad.
I wanted the mines over the airbursts.
Me too.
I wanted.
Put it out there.
I've been team mine since the very beginning.
I wanted the anti.
I really respect that.
Listen, the airburst launcher is literally an anti-mine rocket launcher. You shoot it, it destroys all mines in any given area. That's the one thing it's good at.
The airburst, brother. I got you, but
that's the one thing it's good at. Listen, it's the one thing it's good at, and that's why I wanted it. Alrighty, so where shall we start, boys? Shall we start with Super Helldive Difficulty and the Escalation of Freedom?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
So I'm just going to play this in the background. We all already watched this. We all already heard what they had to say. But everybody knows Escalation of Freedom coming soon. New enemy types, new surprises. Also, a patch is going to come alongside of it. We are expecting some balance changes. Hopefully they get rid of orbital scatter. But the big thing coming is Super Helldive Difficulty.
Is it that what's it called? Like, is that the name?
Yep. They called it Super Helldive.
Yeah,
Super
Helldive.
Yeah.
Which is actually an amazing name for it, to be honest.
It's very good.
Yeah, well, that was when we did the last balance feedback doc. That's like the suggested name that we put in was Super Helldive. So it was like, felt pretty good to see it get named after what we suggested, to be honest with you.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. The CEO ended up retweeting the last balance doc that we made. So they definitely bounced around the previous ones, but it was cool to just have it like acknowledged. So I was really excited about that.
Hey,
Should be. That's awesome.
One thing that was in my balance doc was make it so that flashlights can see through like bad vision modifiers. And I don't think we're necessarily getting that, but they said there's a new biome where it's super dark and you'll need your flashlight. So that's
It
really
looked
cool.
like a blackout, and it looked like almost a horror mission. And I kind of like the like
Ooh.
horror aesthetic vibe of
Yeah.
like that. Like
That's
I think
good.
that's amazing because like a lot of people loved Gears of War when it was a horror game, and I think that like Helldivers kind of fits that
For sure.
with at least the Terminus.
For sure.
That could be cool.
All right, so Super Helldive difficulty level 10. How hard is it supposed to be? What kind of stuff do you want to see them introduce with it? I think Clay honestly has a lot to say about this, so let's go ahead and let him go.
All right, yeah. So like my whole thing was like solo, no death, just do like the hardest possible challenges the game could possibly throw at you, like and just do obnoxious things that like shouldn't be done. And I felt like the hardest difficulty in the game should like be almost impossible to do like that. So like as a 4-man, I would really like to see Super Helldive just have like a 20% success rate for like good groups. And like if you're like you have to want to improve and be better to be able to play it. Like it should be like there should be like an aura around the difficulty where it's like, damn, you play Super Helldive, you know what I mean? Like it should be hard. Like I think games have to bring back that like the skill checks and just like have a hardest difficulty that is rewarding to play and not like cheesy, because like a lot of deaths in Helldivers are too cheesy. So like there has to be a good balance. Like there can't be 1,000 rocket devastators on your screen shooting through walls, right? But like the balance.
Anyone jump in? I'm not going to. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah. So I like that, and I think that in general, like solo should be as hard as 4-man. Like the hardest difficulty should always be scaled to 4 people. And I think that in the best possible way to say this, because we had it in like March, was the surges, right? Where like the flare surges, where you'd have like a ton of bots come in, or like 10 Bile Titans pour out of holes. I think Super Helldive should be like that. Like it should be like intense, overwhelming, and you should want to bring counters to the missions and like all the different modifiers they add, because I know we'll get into that later. You should want to counter the mission or almost be forced to be able to participate. And I think that would be like the most fun possible way you could do it.
Quick question, what do you mean by flare surges? Like just a bunch of enemies showing up at once?
Yeah, so like a flare would go. So like when spawn surges were happening, like a flare would go off, and they have like a radial trigger where like so like when you look at your mini map, there's like red, like a red radius around the outposts. And what would happen is the flare would trigger multiple outposts, same as like a breach. So instead of your level 1 breach off of like a small POI, it would hit like multiple level 2s and 3s. So you'd have like a level 10 flare or like a level 10 breach, and that's when you'd see like 10 Bile Titans come out or whatever. And then you would just have like this insane moment. But like if you brought a 380 millimeter barrage, you could counter it, right? So like you just bring chaos for chaos. And I think that bringing that back as like even a modifier would be really cool.
What you've just said sounds absolutely great. I'm not trying to be negative here, but do you think that the devs would actually bring that in? Because that sounds to me like it makes total sense, but the way that they've made this game, I just can't see them doing that type of depth. Like, I'd love them to, but do you think they'll do that?
What kind of depth do you not see them doing?
Like the different tiers of breach, flares, whatever you want.
That's already in the game. That's already in the game.
Really?
Yeah, that's what causes the so like a small POI is a level 1, a medium POI would be level 2, and like a large POI would be a level 3. And baiting breaches off of POIs is like the bare minimum, like smallest breach you can get, right? So like that's what was causing the big breaches long ago.
Okay.
So like so
okay.
like it was imagine like a brood commander does its call in, and it was just such a large radius that it procced all those POIs at the same time instead of just the closest one.
Yeah. So, okay. Right.
Yeah,
I did not know that's how it worked. Nice.
Yeah, the CEO also had some like there was an old Operator Drewski video where the CEO was talking about like threat radials, how different threat worked on all of the enemies. And I think that patch like 1.1 or 1.02 ended up breaking those threat radiuses, and that kind of like when we were getting flares across the entire map. Yeah, that was when like
you're talking about
that's when things fell apart.
Yeah.
Right.
So like there are extremely in-depth mechanics in the game, and I think that like making the most out of all of them for Super Helldive will be really good. But there's also a lot of bad things that can happen at the same time because we've seen how bad things can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
How do you guys
For
feel
me-
that's the hardest difficulty? Because like I have my opinions of just wanting it to be like insanely like stupid hard, like challenging, right? But, like,
I'll let FaZe go first, and then I'll.
I don't want them to just make it harder by adding more enemies. And I know that sounds really basic, but that just kind of feels the way it's been. Like, and I've said this in a previous podcast, and I've said this in previous videos that I've made. I want there to be more mechanics in the game, things we have to do in a mission to be successful. Like, what if there's I always reference this game, you're getting bored of it if you've heard it before, chat, but like, when you're in a mission in DRG, Deep Rock Galactic, there's an event called the Corlock Tyrant Weed. And if you come across this thing in the middle of a mission, it just changes everything. You have to completely drop everything you are doing, and you have to re-strategize. Originally, when a Bile Titan spawned way back in the day, there was a glimpse of that, and the same with tanks and stuff, but it wasn't like on steroids like it is in DRG. But like, I want there to be things that happen that make us have to drop everything we're doing to overcome it together as a team. And I see this the low-key Half-Life 1 boss in the missile silo, the tentacle thing. That looks a bit like it's leaning into that idea as well. But I just I just want them to lean into that type of thing a little bit more. And make
I think if the missile tank is done correctly and the impaler is done correctly, it'll probably give you that fantasy that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was excited for as well, to see different things like that. Especially, I think they allude to the charger with like the fog around it or whatever, kind of causing like a blinding like radius, and then you have to like focus on that, or you don't know what you're going to get ambushed by. So I think that there's cool things that can happen. Hopefully, at least.
Okay, so back to what Clay was saying. There's two things I just learned about Clay. First, he's a good player and he has big balls because he wants that 20%. Like, he wants that difficulty, and I respect it, right? Let's get that out of the way. The second thing I learned about Clay is he's very kind-hearted, because Clay, I want that to be like fucking 5%. 5%, make it even harder. You know what I mean, Clay?
Oh,
Like,
I said for like good groups. I think that
even for good
randoms
groups,
will be at like 1%. I like what you're saying.
Yes, just drop it, because guess what? This is not like Destiny 2. This is not like the First Descendant. There's no loot that you're gonna get out of it that is gonna make you overpowered. This is there for people that have no life and don't see grass for 3 months to showcase that they don't see grass. Like people like me, right? Like, look at me. I'm so white. I haven't seen the sun for like months. Let's be honest. So I want to showcase it some way. So give me the chance to showcase it. So let me run it. If for example, we put our squad together, we go in and you finish that, you want to feel like an elite squad. And that's what this game is missing right now. Because let's be honest, difficulty 9
is a joke.
Difficulty 9 is a joke. And anybody who complained about that being super hard, I'm sorry, but you don't know how to play the game in terms of mechanically. And there's nothing wrong with it, but those are just facts, because it's easy. You can literally outrun the whole mission if you wanted to. Literally outrun on the Buck side, just put on light armor and just zoom across the map, complete, run. And that's all you got to do if you wanted to. So I
think it was a knowledge check more than a skill check.
Yeah, knowledge check.
People just did not want to play.
It was like,
I agree with you.
It was
I agree with 5%. Even I could even say, like, if you're solo, it should be like a maybe 1% less success rate.
Yeah, solo should be insane.
It should be like, that should be like the pinnacle of the game. If you could solo the Super Helldive, like, you're already a god, and if you don't die, you're just like you're John Helldiver. Like,
all right, let me
that's it.
Let me get my piece now. Let me get my piece. So number one, I got to back up Pips on the part where he said he touches no grass and he's so white, because when he was on vacation, he was literally texting me saying, geez, my wife is making me go outside so much. I just want to go home and play games. Okay, so true story. So literally true story. Okay, number two, I got to point out, I do think the game is like 70% knowledge check, 10% bugs, and then like 20% mechanical check, because there's a lot of bugs that kind of mess things up.
You got to overcome
the Bile Titan head thing, like so on, and the 1 damage, you got to move forward, so on and so forth, okay? And then the other thing, I lost my train of thought a little bit. Oh, the other thing I really want to say is that I fully agree Super Helldive should be for the people who don't want to touch grass. Number one, all the new stuff they added, they said it's going to be on lower difficulties. So you don't have to play Super Helldive for the Impalers. You don't have to play Super Helldive for the new bot enemies. You don't have to play Super Helldive for the heavy base, I'm assuming. I'm assuming that'll even show up as low as level 7, maybe level 8. So you won't have to go to the highest difficulty to get the full impact of the game. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that I said a while ago when they lowered super samples down to level 6 that this is great because now people who, you know, are having trouble with the game or complaining about the higher difficulties, now you can go to level, there's no reason to go above level 6 in terms of rewards. However, with that being said, when you have a precedent set for a game and you try to add stuff to the lower difficulties, no one wants to move down. But now that they're adding a higher difficulty, they actually can gatekeep that, like, successfully. Like, there is a full, like, before you load a Super Helldive, you know you're loading a Super Helldive. You know, like, if I fail this mission, it's because it's too hard. And if I don't want to play something too hard, I can go back to level 9. So that's good. And then, in terms of what I want on Super Helldive, I miss Bile Titans, man. I swear I see, like, 3 Bile Titans per mission. On Helldive.
Definitely made them pretty limited.
I liked fighting Bile Titans. I like the recoilless rifle. That's my favorite support weapon, and it's good against Bile Titans. It's not good against mobs. So, like, yeah. On the bot side of things, though, I don't know, man. Bots. So before this patch, I used to say bugs were low key harder, but bots were more like bullshit. But now everything kind of feels good towards the bug side, whereas the bots still feel bullshit.
I think that we noticed that, like, a lot of the things that even they allude to in, like, when they do patch notes and stuff is they only talk about bugs. They never talk about bots. And bots have been shooting through walls since the first patch, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's been trash to play for
Kills
a long time.
me.
Yeah,
I feel like mechanically not well developed, man. Like
It's not.
it's not like done right. Like some of the stuff, like, and I know I keep bringing this up and whatever, but like if you played other games, especially PvE games, like name one where you get ragdolled and you stay on the ground for so long and get shot without, like, that is an issue, and that needs to be some way countered or on the player side, some way. I'm not saying take it out completely, but like give us ability to counter it. And
I can give you an example of something else that made Darktide feel really, really bad. Was from beta to launch, they had this toughness bar where you once it broke, you would just get staggered. They ended up basically removing this almost altogether at this stage of the game since the last time I played. And what would used to happen was you could get stun locked by enemy gunners shooting at you. And it felt very similar to just getting ragdolled in Helldivers, but you die so fast in Darktide that, like, you don't really get the opportunity. Like, one zombie hits you, you're cooked, right? Depending on the character that you're playing, of course. But, like, it felt bad to play, and eventually they just altogether, like, butchered that mechanic because it just feels bad. And then, like, you know, when I look at Helldivers, when I get shot by a rocket and I'm ragdolled, I can get chain ragdolled for oh my god, like almost indefinitely if I'm in heavy armor, and it just feels terrible to play. So I think they need to add, like, a resistance level to stagger, or just make it so that, like,
heavy armor stops
that
you getting
can't happen.
ragdolled. I wish they put that in the game, to be honest. I really wish they'd do something with the armors and actually make each armor have a kind of power fantasy attached to it. Like, heavy armor means you can't get staggered. Light armor is obviously great because you can run fast and go further in jetpack. That's nailed it. And then something with medium armor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, something that feels more concrete. It's off topic, but I just think you reminded me of that there. I really like that. The ragdolling does my head in. It's so annoying.
It is.
All right, so one thing I want to give them the benefit of the doubt on. So I noticed since the big patch, the last big buff patch, you know how you'll get hit by a rocket devastator and they'll pull you towards all the enemies? I actually think that's because they nerfed their accuracy a little bit. So now they end up shooting, like, right behind you a lot. And then since you're getting shot, since a rocket's landing behind you, you get ragdolled towards them. Because they also made hunters a lot easier to deal with this previous patch as well. Like hunters used to frickin' lock onto you, but like now if you're paying attention to, like, obviously if there's 10 hunters, you know, a lot of them are gonna hit you. But if there's just a few of them, you can actually pay attention and dodge the hunters this patch. So there's a mechanical thing that you got to do, which is cool.
The wiggle.
Yeah, wiggle around.
The wiggle. Little circular wiggle. I like that.
Someone in chat, Undefined, says, real question, where the fuck is your beard, Pips?
Oh, what, dude, no beard for now, man. We're gonna transform into Wolverine soon enough, though. You know,
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Wait for that day.
Devastator's
I'm gonna put the
having
glasses on today, man. You got to put the beard on. Come on.
yeah. Devastator's having infinite rockets is bullshit. It can be. It definitely feels like it. Like maybe longer reload times, like especially heavy Devastators need reload times. Pop a stim and you don't get ragdolled. That could be a good idea. I guess I'm weird. I think bugs are harder than bots. I think this patch, Neno, someone commented on this, didn't you guys? I heard Neno's name. Neno, I think this patch bugs are easier than bots. Especially because of gunship patrols.
I think bots in general are easier than bugs, like substantially. It's just that they have cheesy mechanics that make them difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
And they
bot
make it-
mission
yeah,
can
that's all
go
it comes
pear
down
shaped
to.
very quickly. I think like a bot mission can be going really smooth, and then for all the reasons that you've just mentioned, cheesy things, that kind of stuff, I think a bot mission can just fall apart.
Getting shot through walls is like
It's like, it's not your
ridiculous.
fault when it happens. It just happens sometimes.
And
Yeah,
like the
think-
ragdolling, right? There's no game in this universe that any gamer enjoys where they're getting stun locked. Like, and essentially
No,
that's
it's
stun
boring.
lock. You're getting
losing
stun
control
locked
of your
and
character sucks.
yes, you can't do anything, and it's annoying. Like, I want to fight back, but I don't have the ability to do so. It's very frustrating.
And what about, have you guys come across this one where you dive on a piece of ice, I think it is, or a puddle of water, and you do that T-pose animation out of the floor?
dude, that
That's
helps
my
you.
favorite part of the game.
No, that's great.
Man.
No,
Yeah,
that's
good.
fine.
That's good game.
no, it's good, bro. Then you're not
Yeah, let me
ragdolled. You
get in.
stand up. You stand up. It's good.
That's the only ragdoll counter we have.
Yeah,
Face.
yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
bro.
All right,
Maybe I'm using
Galev-
it wrong. I'm using it wrong, man.
You are.
Yeah.
Galevka says, aim punch teaches good positioning and importance of shield, smoke, stun. It is not egregious. I want to say, last week when me, Pips, and Erevin did the Orbital and Eagle tier list on the last podcast, go check that out if you guys haven't seen it. But we put Orbital EMS at the bottom. Somebody commented on the video. Sorry, I don't remember your name, but I do read the comments. Somebody commented and said Orbital EMS doesn't count as a red stratagem. So enemies aren't alerted to it until it lands, and they actually use it to wipe patrols. That's smart.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Last time I played, the enemies got aggroed to the ball when you threw it on the floor, and then they would target you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
so,
misinformation?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I threw the Eagle smoke last time when we were testing it as the
No.
like,
The Orbital EMS.
Right, yeah, the Orbital EMS, the Eagle Smoke, like every one of those like support stratagems, the enemies were targeting me from the ball and ignoring it. And I think that my favorite part was last time I used Orbital EMS, I got woodcuttered by a Hulk. He just kept coming, he wouldn't stop.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The lumberjack Hulk came for me, bro.
You want to know something else interesting? I don't know if it's good. Something interesting I noticed because we had free mines. Enemies target the frickin' mine dispenser. When you throw down mines, they aggro on the mine dispenser, and I don't know if they could break it. Maybe they can.
Taunt.
Yeah, it's like a mini taunt in a weird way.
Well, the shield generator does the same thing. Where
Shield
it taunts.
generator,
A lot of
yeah,
the
shield gen, yeah.
deployables like that do taunt.
So I
Yeah.
kind of
You
want to
can do some
mess.
mad stuff with the shield generator.
I kind of want to mess with the mine taunt a bit more. Maybe that could be a really good way they could buff. I mean, maybe mines already do that, but that could be a good thing to focus on with mines. Like, what if all the enemies are like heavily taunted towards it so that they actually walk into the minefield a bit better? That, I mean, like.
Have you used the anti-personnel mines recently? Because last time I used them, one would blow up and all of them would blow up. I haven't
True.
played in
I'm not saying there's not other ways they don't need improved, but it's definitely something that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Super Helldive difficulty. I feel like we got it all out in a short time. Anything
Yeah,
else?
I mean, I think you just wanted to talk
One
about
last thing
modifiers.
about it would
Yep.
be that I just don't think they'll make it as hard as we want it.
I think you're right. I think you're
No,
right.
I don't think. I think it's going to be like a 50-60% complete rate or something like that.
You don't think
I
they
wanna
won't buff
lose.
it halfway through though?
No.
No, I think that
I
they've been
think
too
they
scared to buff
will.
a lot of things. I
No.
think that it should be overhauled. The thing is, if it's not overly difficult when it launches, then again, it creates a expectation when you load in, and then it just
Yeah, because
feels bad
if you
when they
think
make
about
harder.
it,
It should be
9
too hard
was
and then
much harder, and then it became
Yeah.
easier. So
Yeah.
why would 10 be 10 times? I think it might be at the level at where 9 was, or like 10-20% higher. And it's obviously going to feel much more horrible on the bot side because of everything we went over. But I think that it's still going to be possible to complete it pretty much I'm not going to say very easily because I don't know, but pretty easily on
Well, what do you
Fuck
think
that.
is going to happen if we load in to our first Super Helldive bot game and we get shot through a wall? What do you think
Well,
the feeling is there?
I know what I'm doing. I'm
Listen.
leaving the game.
Listen. Besides that, I do think that they're adding this specifically because they want the game to be very hard. Like early on in the game's life cycle, they were nerfing everything left and right because they want the game to be hard. They, like Pilestet mentioned, they want to be the next From Software. Isn't that who makes Elden Ring?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. Like I do think they want that. Like maybe we're just like, I don't think the devs want us to just be killing everything super easily. And to be fair, I've always acknowledged this. Not everyone, like, we sit up here and say, yeah, we touch no grass. We're YouTubers. We sit on the computer all day, blah blah blah. But like, not everyone is on the computer or terminally online as us four are. Like, a lot of people do actually have struggles with the game at its current level, like genuinely. And that's facts.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Yeah,
If you've
yeah.
only
No,
got
I'm
8
not
hours a
saying-
week to play games.
No.
I know. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying it just to get it out there. I'm not
better.
saying you're saying that.
No, but I'm saying that the devs, like, when they originally were nerfing stuff, they're doing it based on like YouTube videos and what we can do and what we can
What was
showcase.
popular?
But like,
And that was very boring.
I am genuinely curious on the win rate of level 9s. It probably is up there. It probably is at least 80%, if I had to guess.
Yeah, it
it's
has
super
to be.
easy.
But
It's too easy.
But I do think, I don't know though, because like in randoms as well, like random squads, everybody always complains about random squad teammates. Like, so what really is it?
Thing. If you're balancing it around, I think that the game already has more than enough content in terms of difficulty for the average player. So why not have one thing for the players to struggle with and to be like, even the average player, right? Let's say they clear 9 and they're, oh my God, that was the hardest thing. But now they're super Helldive, bro. One day we're going to clear that. And then they do. And that dopamine of like, we did it, you know, like that's what the games are missing nowadays, man.
Yeah.
Well, when I did my first playthrough of Sekiro, I think that like every time I overcame a new challenge, right? Because I just played it a couple months ago. Every time I felt like I was just getting better and better and better. And then I fought Sword Saint Ishin, and I was like, this is like the peak of, like, it was so sick beating him. I felt like accomplished and good. And I feel like they can't be scared to make something hard because people cry about it. Because that's like one of the big flexes of Sekiro when you beat it, is a lot of people quit out like halfway through the game, right? And I feel like if Super Helldive has that difficulty, then you can feel that accomplishment and that goal. And if they do really want to be like Super Helldive, they can't placate to people who are bad. You know what I mean? They have to placate.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think they will. I
Wanting
think they're
to improve and be better. Right?
But what's the identity of the game, though? Because I really agree with you.
Yeah.
Again, what's the identity of the game, though? The game is a co-op horde shooter. Like, it's designed to have lots of people playing it at different ability levels. So you have that really difficult game design pillar to figure out there, don't you? Like, I agree with you. Souls-like games, man, are so rewarding when you're playing through them and you're hitting your head off a wall with a boss.
Man. Hopefully it is that difficult.
One final thing about difficulty to say is when they did buff patrols by accident, they made the lower difficulties too difficult.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends that don't play a lot of games were just Helldive and having a good time. You know, they were vibing. And I think that tier 1 through 6, like tier 1 to 5 should remain extremely lenient and be very forgiving and be easy. And then tier 6 should be like your first step, because that's where you get super samples, right? That should be your first step into like really like facing at least some level of challenge if you're like not a avid, like, you know, you're not like a hardcore like grinder or whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
There was a time where tier 7 felt better, wasn't there? I think
so. Number one, Larry, we all play both factions, and we all think all the Helldive is easy. The bug Helldive is trivial. The bot Helldive is trivial but annoying. I think 1 through 5 should be easy, but introduce everyone to all the enemies. So, like, you know, the Kill a Bile Titan mission, that's a really good example of it. But sometimes, dude, I don't think Stalkers should spawn below level 6 either, dude. Stalkers are crazy. Yeah, like, even, like, dude, they even catch me off guard. Like, I strictly run, like, Pummeler, Punisher, Blitzer, stuff like that staggers Stalkers. Like, I'm always ready for them. Because,
I have a spreadsheet of what I've died to the most, because I do this when I was doing solo no deaths, and versus the bots, the thing I died to the most was the jetpack guys, funnily enough. Because they fly and do in one shot. And then versus the bugs was Stalkers.
Yes.
Almost 90% of my deaths were Stalkers. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think Stalkers, if you don't, so look, I'm not saying you need a stagger weapon to kill Stalkers, but if you're newer at the game, you're still playing on 1 through 5, you need a stagger weapon to deal with Stalkers, in my opinion. And I feel like newer players don't really know that, so I don't think they should spawn down there. But anyways, point.
One question for you, Thick.
Go ahead.
But just on the Stalker point, how do you think they're gonna feel in the blackout modifier when it's pitch black?
Oh,
and
it's gonna be amazing.
I'm gonna shit myself,
bro. I've already listen. My favorite weather is the desert and Bile Titans of the Sandstorm and Stalkers of the Sands and a random charger coming through. Coming through, no vision, just all sand in my face, and a charger just blasts me in the forehead. I'm already ready for it.
Oof, that's gonna be scary shit.
Listen. Everyone wants to know about the torture in the new warbond, the primary flamethrower.
Yep.
Everybody, I want to know about the crisper, the sidearm flamethrower. But the real sleeper is gonna be the flame punisher, because it's gonna be fire and it's gonna be stagger. And that thing is going to be amazing. I promise. I promise. Or at least I'm pretty sure it's going to be stagger. If it threw a warrior body in the trailer for it, so I'm assuming it's stagger. Oh yeah, we definitely need melee weapons.
I need a melee weapon. Bad.
They've hinted at that, haven't they?
No, they said that it's not in their immediate. No, they said it's not in their immediate plans.
Okay.
But it's possible one day. Are we sure about the stagger on the fire punisher? If so, god tier. So in the trailer, when they shot a warrior with it, its body flew away. And I'm pretty sure that only happens when, number one, something is like lagging or something, because I've seen charger bodies fly across the map when it shouldn't have. Or number two, if it's a stagger weapon. And I'm pretty sure they get most of their footage on their like not online, not on the servers, in their like offline mode or whatever. Yeah, in their dev build. Yep. So I'm assuming it is, just based on what I've seen, but obviously not 100% sure. But also, it's a Punisher. It's a flame Punisher, literally. So I'm assuming it's just going to be lower damage, but it applies fire, and then it's just the same gun otherwise.
Fire shotgun.
Yeah, fire shotgun. Shams Giorgiani brought up expendable bayonets. He retweeted someone, but that's not confirmation. Also, he's
projectile versions as well.
He's the CEO, not the CCO. Okay, Pilestep brought him on for paperwork, which is great, by the way. We appreciate him. But for the most part, speaking of him, we got a Reddit post where he said, help brainstorm ideas for resource use for progression. And he left a big long post, but basically said, let's face it, many of us are capped out on materials and we're sitting on digital mounds of gold and would like to use said gold patriotically to further the war cause, more fun ways of progression. So I'm here to hear about your best ideas. Shams Giorgiani posted this on the Reddit. And some of the top opinions on this were convert between resources, weapon upgrades, armor upgrades, and stratagem upgrades. This is what a lot of us want for sure. But there were also some good ones like community-wide modifiers. The idea here is that the entire community can be able to contribute to a shared goal with in-universe benefits. So I think this is what we need to spend rec slips on, because that's like literally funding the war effort with our requisition slips, the #1 most useless resource we have. But like if you could put it towards like a planet's liberation, or like this person said, stronger defenses, so when a planet gets attacked, maybe like the enemy that's attacking it takes it at a slower rate because we all spent rec slips on it. Or something I think would be interesting would be like a voting, but instead of voting, it's whoever spends the most of that resource on that option. So we could literally like spend rec slips to get something to go through. That would be really fun in my opinion. Do you guys have any ideas? Let's let FaZe go first on this. Resource for progression. What's some way you want to see them spend stuff?
I mean, you know me and what I like doing in games. The thing that really, really excites me is making builds, experimenting, combinations, all that kind of stuff. And I just think if they can dig into the weapons and the stratagems and actually give them different things that you can combine together, like I'd never really thought about how cool it would be if a stratagem could have kind of a little bolt on that changed the way it behaved slightly. And couple that with attachments for weapons, the way the weapons actually behave. That would be absolutely awesome and give us so much more leg room to play around with. And I think that that is probably what is most important for me, is to just give us something to run with in the back end of the game when we're in the ship, and help us theory craft a little bit more. So that comment that you mentioned is right up my street. I would say that would be my favorite thing. Like imagine if the Blitzer had like, I don't know, you got a slower fire rate, but there was more arcs coming off it. That's just one thing that's come to my mind. Or what if the Blitzer has less arcs but fires quicker? Just little things like that that would allow us to customize our loadouts more would be absolutely fantastic, I think.
That would be cool, actually. Pips, you agree with him, or you got something else?
I think, I 100% agree, because I feel like the main thing, the game, it's cool to fund this war. I get it. Well, guess what? I don't care. I'm sorry. Like I'll fund it for a little bit, but I'd rather farm an attachment for my shotgun to turn it into a slug shotgun that snipes bugs or robots or whatever from 100 meters away. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather chase that and then make important builds and cool builds, and then be like, oh, Philae, you got to check this out. And then you make a cool build and you tell me, and that keeps the game going. Funding something doesn't keep the game going. Like you'll fund it for a week and you'll get bored. It's like pressing a button and it's funded. Okay, we get it.
So you just want weapon attachments?
What weapon? Armor. I want armor too. A little bit of upgrades, like maybe carry extra grenade if you add this. Carry extra this, weapon, armor, and stratagems are absolutely fine too. Let me carry one extra rocket, something like that.
Oron says Pips is a traitor. You don't want to fund the war effort?
You better watch your mouth.
I think we've kind of just described the weapon workbench from the first game.
Yes.
Clay,
yes,
you got a different one? I know your doc had a couple ideas, so just name one thing, something we maybe haven't talked about, or expand on one.
Okay, so one, weapon workbench, just overall, you grind your stuff, upgrade your weapons, because you could make this game is specifically missing that more than anything, because the ARs feel bad, but if you could fully custom modify them to whatever you wanted it to be to counter the mission, you win. And as modifiers come in, being able to customize is way more important. Also, our main one was just being able to spend whatever resource, like requisition slips, medals, it doesn't matter, on just buying a bonus stratagem to drop into the mission.
Yes.
Right?
Like I like that one. Yep.
Just
that's nice.
Buy one and that's it. Like I want 300. I have basically a fifth slot. You know how they give you the free strat? Lock it in like that. And that would just let you resource dump and you just have +1 thing. And I think that'd be fine, to be honest.
Okay.
That would let you dump enough that it'd be okay.
So for me, there was a Reddit user who said, yeah, all that stuff sounds cool, but let me spend their rec slips or whatever to buy a bunch of medals for their armor just like Field Marshal Zhukov. That's the one I'm going with. I want all of these shiny gold medals all over my armor. Don't cap how much I could put on it. Let me fill it up to an absurd degree that I can't even see anymore. I'll put them on my helmet too. Okay. I'll make
What
my
about
own
ship
sandstorm
customizations,
modifier.
too?
Yeah, ship
Ship
customizations would be great.
customizations would be lit.
Yeah,
Something
that's
cool.
really cool. That's
Well,
really
what if
cool.
you could modify your ship to be like, well, if for like, you know, you could customize your shit to be like, maybe you want your 308, all your barrages. Maybe you want you remove like whatever, you just add extra cannons to it. Like you purchase extra cannons, so your 380 millimeter barrage is now like you shoot twice as many shots or something. You just got to work towards buying more upgrades, or like the laser cannon, you shoot 5 lasers out your ship or something. Just something fun.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Whatever
exactly.
works.
cool shit.
All right, guys.
What do people think about the cosmetic side? Sorry, Thick.
No, you're good.
Before you move on,
Go ahead.
what do you guys think about the idea of having a bit more of a season pass with, like
a more
again,
long-term
Deep Rock
battle
Galactic.
pass?
Yeah, with like cosmetics.
I mean,
I'm up
and
for
things
cosmetics.
that
I
make
don't mind
weapons look
cosmetics.
better, and
Just like not Nicki Minaj running around though, but all the
no,
rest.
I'm not excited, but it's something to work towards, isn't it? I guess.
for
Yeah,
me,
yeah, cool crossovers with, for example, Halo would be nice. You know what I mean? Like something that fits, but not anything that doesn't fit.
No, not like Snoop
No.
Dogg running around.
Yeah, no.
yeah, like I think he mentioned Deep Rock Galactic. For me, cosmetics are always a way for a company to make more money for art.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I like that. I'll buy some of it. I think if they want to do that, I think crossovers are a good idea, and also work really hard, make the skins really good. You know, I play a lot of Valorant, and a lot of the skins on the weapons are like really in depth. They have like add different noises as well when you shoot the guns.
Incredible.
Yeah, they're insane.
Incredible.
So I think if they add cosmetics, I would hope they did them really well, like really, and they do. If you look at some of the like the pocket shotty, when you run out of bullets, they actually use the 3 last bullets on the gun itself. So I think they probably would add some really cool ones.
You know who did an amazing job, Filet? Have you played Smite?
A little bit.
Bro, they changed it was like playing a different character. The way the skills looked, the character sound effects, everything, that was insane.
That's what I would hope they would do. I think even like weapon skins in this game would go really hard, especially if it changed the noise. Like, what if now you could buy a sickle skin that actually made it go pew pew pew? That would be cool.
Stop it. Imagine a flamethrower, like you have a flamethrower that's already on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on now.
I think people would be down for that, but make them really detailed. And then, you could charge more for that too. Obviously, though, we like the monetization in Helldivers. It's good. It's cheap. All right.
Yeah, I agree. It's great.
We are going to move on, finally, to the buff tier list. So instead of a normal tier list, we've got buff it hard, revert it, which, we all know what's going in here. Slight buff, nothing, or nerf it. But I got to blue ball you guys a little bit longer. We got a new game show. Shout out to Esper for this idea. It is called Live or Dive.
I'm going to be the champion.
Live or Dive. So I'm going to show...
I'm a hero.
And everybody in chat's going to vote on this. Everyone in chat, vote on this. I'm going to show you guys a clip. We're going to give you multiple choice.
Everybody, that's wrong.
We're going to ban everyone
If
that's
you're
wrong.
You're permabanned from all 4
We're going to show clips, and you guys are going to have to guess if they lived or died. Actually, it's multiple choice. You're going to guess how the clip ends. Let's go.
I need Jesus. There's only 1 minute.
Watch me.
All right, we've got number 1, the bots behind killed Labyrinth. Number 2, turns out Helldivers can jump. Number 3, a random cannon turret kills them. And number 4, everyone extracts and we all make it home. Everyone on the podcast, just hold up like 1, 2, 3, 4. What's your guesses? And everyone in chat
said, "I need Jesus" or something. He's cooked, bro.
No, that was actually me in the background.
Oh, you were asking. Okay. So you were asking God to save him. He is.
This is Labyrinth.
Oh, that's Lab.
Yeah, that's Lab.
You're cooked, bro. Lab,
Dude,
you are
Lab
cooked.
always dies.
So
I've never seen
wait,
Labyrinth live a
wait,
clip.
Pips, which number is it? Which number is it? Hold it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Okay, Pip says the bot's behind. FaZe?
3.
FaZe says a random cannon turret.
Oh, that's gonna be so funny if that happens.
Clay says, turns out Helldivers can jump. I see a lot of 3s in chat. Everyone thinks random cannon turret. Oron says thick kills Lab. 2, 3, 2, 3 easy. All right, let's see. Oh wait, it's still no, it's still possible. Turns out Helldivers can jump,
Oh my god.
and he lives.
He's dead.
No, he lives.
What are the odds that 500 kg kills?
Oh, he
one of those?
T-poses. Lab's a hacker.
All right, next clip. Next clip. Next clip.
Arrowhead ban him. He's cheating.
All right, this one is of Clay. So, number 1, Clay narrowly dodges the charger and then kills it. Number 2, a spooky ghost shows up and ass blasts him. Number 3, stalkers. Number 4, he gets rammed by this charger and I wanted to embarrass him by showing this clip. What do we think it is, chat?
His face is so locked in here. I'm gonna trust this. He's look at him, bro. He's looking through that charger.
Clay, how do you think you die here? How do you think you die here, Clay?
I can't. I'll ruin it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Pips.
This is my clip.
Pips, how does he die?
Now, he does not die, bro. What are you talking about, bro?
Pips says he
lives.
narrowly dodges.
John Wick
FaZe.
style,
I
he
love
dodges,
you, Pips, bro. I love you, bro.
and he slaps
I
the
kiss you,
charger. Guys, I'm telling you, I believe Clay.
I think that he gets rammed by the charger and you wanted to embarrass him.
Disgusting, phase shifter. I would never even imagine that
A lot of chat
scenario in my mind.
also seems to think I want to embarrass him. I see a number 3,
Everybody's
stalkers.
spamming forward, chat. You
Nano.
gotta lock in, bro.
Neno says a spooky ghost. Berserker says ran by this charger. I wanted to embarrass him. 2, 4, 4, 4. Lab says a spooky
I
ghost.
love you.
4, 3. Which one is it, chat? Which one is it going to be?
Boom. Cook him,
Bro,
Clay. What the fuck?
What?
A spooky
What the
ghost shows up and ass blasts him. Who could have ever seen that coming?
Came from the middle of
No
the, what
way.
the fuck was that?
All right, next clip.
Ripping.
Look, there's me in the background.
avoid it,
All
though.
right, how does Lab die here? Number 1, stalkers. Number 2, laser backpack program by automatons. Number 3, a charger cosplaying a hive lord shows up. Or number 4, Labyrinth loses a boxing match to this Wilbur right in front of him. Which one do you get? How do you guys think Lab
I'm gonna go
dies?
for 4.
Yeah, I'm
Lab,
going with 4 too. I like Pips. I'm going with 4 too.
Lab,
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, 4.
everyone's in unison. Everyone thinks Lab would lose a boxing match to a Wilbur. Do you see what they think about you, Lab? Do you see what they think about you?
I've seen Lab play.
Yeah. I don't know.
JJ says there's a rover in the video. Number 2. John says 4. Angry Happy 2. ATL says stalkers. No offense, Lab. It's just how it goes sometimes. I feel insulated. What are you insulated from, Lab?
You must be feeling warm.
Yeah, you must be warm right now. All right. Let's see, guys. Let's see. So he's gonna lose this boxing match to this Wilbur. Oh no, it was a laser backpack programmed by the automatons. All right, we've got a clip here. It's a little loud. We've got a clip here submitted by Silly. Does he die to mines? Does he die to this orbital cannon blasts him into space? Does he die to a random cannon turret? Or does he safely jetpack down? Which one is it going to be, guys? What do you guys think?
Rend 3.
Is he going to die to...
2.
I'll go through the options again. Mines,
I will lose my shit.
an orbital cannon blasts him into space. Is it the random cannon turret from off screen, or does he safely jetpack down, guys? Come on, you guys don't think I threw a wild card in there?
2. I'm going to.
The funniest one would be 2. Yeah, 2 for sure. Come on.
The
Please
orbital
be
cannon
2.
blasts him into space. All right, Pips,
Yeah,
what do you
yeah.
think too? Clay,
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm locked in on 2, brother.
locked in on 2. Everyone's in unison again. Everyone says the orbital
Yo.
cannon blasts him into space.
If that's not what happens, I'm disappointed.
He dies to mines.
This guy, bro.
He
This
dies
guy,
to
bro.
mines, chat. He died to mines.
What are we doing, bro? What are we doing?
Who could have ever seen that one coming?
What are we doing?
Good job, silly. You somehow died in midair to mines.
That's actually impressive.
All right.
Yo, that was crazy, dude. He's calling all.
All right, next clip. This is another one from Silly.
Okay, so if we've learned anything when it comes to Silly, we just
All right.
the weirdest one.
All right, number 1, this orbital kills the Helldiver. Number 2,
that's
a random
normal for him.
rocket kills the Helldiver before the orbital. Number 3, democracy protects. Or number 4, a Jerry walks up and shields the Helldiver from dying. And for those of you who don't know the Jerry lore, it's the robots with the pistol that like aim it at you, but they don't shoot you. It's like a friendly automaton. What are we thinking here, boys?
Oh. Democracy protects. I think they're in the thick of it and they just don't get affected by it.
Okay. Pips?
I'm gonna go for 4.
Jerry walks up and shields the Helldiver from dying. All right, Clay.
2.
2?
Look at his HP.
A random rocket kills the Helldiver before the orbital.
Yeah, look at his HP. Clay's right.
That's like normal HP when you're fighting the boss. That's like what you run around with 99% of the time.
Let's find out what happens. Democracy protects yet again.
Survives that, huh?
Good job, Phase Shifter. Good job, Phase Shifter.
Oh,
Guys, democracy protects you 60% of the time, 100% of the time. All right, another clip from Clay. Another clip. Also, Pips and Phase, sorry, I didn't include your guys' clips. I was randomly editing this like 4 hours ago.
Oh, that's good.
And I was talking to
I'll
Clay.
get over it.
Next time, though.
I'm not
Next time.
complaining.
Next time. All right.
That
We've
was supposed
got
to be a clip.
we've got a wild Clay
One more-
fighting
one
a
last line.
tank.
Boom, boom. Yes, yes, yes.
What the fuck is this?
Lock in, Clay. The hell?
All right.
Oh,
What happens at the end of this clip? Democracy protects yet again. Impact. The second impact. Or a random cannon turret. Which one's is going to be this time, chat? Is it democracy protecting yet again? Is it impact? Is it the second impact? Or the random cannon turret? Finally. Finally.
I'm gonna go for 4.
All right, Pips is locking in number 4. Phase.
The second impact.
The second
Thinks he's safe
impact.
and then gets killed. Thinks he's safe and then gets killed by something else.
Thinks he's safe and then gets killed. Clay.
It's my clip. I can't say.
He's going to go with troll face. All right, let's see what happens.
I hate this game.
Look, he's good. He's
I-
good, Chad. He's doing
I
fine.
Second
Motherfucker.
impact. Good job, Phase. Locked in.
Yes.
All right,
I fought
guys.
that tank for 4 minutes, by the way.
Can I just say, this is really making me want to play Helldivers watching this stuff. It's great.
All right, guys. Finally, I got a clip. I got a clip in here. Okay. All right, guys. What happens in this clip? Stalkers.
Oh yeah. Oh, you are gonna get drilled by stalkers here.
The Helldiver realizes his cheap government fills his turret with packing peanuts, which causes depression. Hold on. Give it a second. Let it cook. Fire while ragdolled or environment.
I feel like the way you turned around, like it was. I feel like
Stalkers.
there's a stalker right behind you.
Stalkers. Plus, you're already depressed, so number 2 is washed. So that's fake news. So it's number 1 for sure.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
Look at how tired you
Look
are.
at you in the look. You can see if you click
Yeah.
back like 2 seconds, you can
Yeah.
frame back like just frame back.
100%.
Look, is that
Look
the
at him.
face of a happy person who's
No.
been having fun, or is that
He
the face
hasn't
of a
slept.
person
Here's-
who's died to 40 stalkers in the last 30 seconds?
Here's my
Yeah.
autocannon sentry, by the way. Insta.
He slept for like 12 minutes last 48 hours.
In the last week.
Yeah. Look at him.
All
no
right.
pain, nothing.
All right. So
It's a
Pips,
stalker.
Pips,
It's
what are you
stalker,
locking in?
dude.
You locking in stalkers?
Nah, it's a stalker, bro. Don't even
Phase,
like. Just,
what are you locking in?
I'm I go Stalkers because if it's that, it's going to be hysterical.
Clay,
I'm locking on one, King.
everyone says
Stalker.
stalkers in unison again.
Yeah.
In unison again.
Yes, I knew it. Like the whole scenario was built. Oh, it was everything together.
Stalkers,
Holy shit.
fire while ragdolled.
Oh, it was everything.
Here's the depression. Here's the depression.
That's a great plan.
Safe.
Yeah, stay there.
You get in,
Now you can't die. Damn, this is
This is a crazy ass clip.
I tried to close the bug hole on myself.
Oh, he came for you.
Oh, dude, that was scary. The hell? Why'd he get in there like that, bro? Holy shit.
They're coming through the walls.
And guys, listen, you know, you can go check out Pips, you can go check out FaZe, you can go check out Clay, but this is the type of shit that happens on my stream, okay? So you guys already know where to go.
Nah, that was kind of
cowering in fear in a hole. Remember that in the future.
It wasn't
Scared,
cowering, it wasn't
pathetic.
scared.
Super hell diving. He's gonna be
no
hiding.
emotion because he
Listen.
doesn't sleep.
It wasn't cowering, it wasn't fear. My freaking package
of PvE.
my freaking packing peanut autocannon one shot itself. Then I got two swiped by a stalker into ragdoll fire, and
and then you
I had
hit a hole
enough.
instead of fighting to the death like a true hero.
I had PTSD. It was not
That
fear.
stalker wanted you though. Holy shit, he went for it.
It was not fear. Okay, it was depression. That's the true face of somebody
That was pretty fun.
who's been giving their all, only to realize
What
that
happened? What happened to the end of that, dude? You're not showing after that. What happened?
I died. What do you mean? What happened? After?
Well, was there no more clips after that? It
And
looked
he
like
was
there was
reborn.
more of the video. It looks like he prepped.
No,
more
that
for
was
us.
the last clip.
That was the
last
end,
clip.
though.
You
That
know,
was fun. That was a
watching
nice section, man.
watching that again is bringing back the PTSD. All right, let's get on to this buff tier list.
Let's go.
Let's go ahead. All right, I don't know why these are here. They're just there. We're just doing primary
Okay,
weapons.
boys.
All right.
Okay, yeah, lock in.
Let's
there's
let's
a
try
lot to
to
get through, isn't
let's try to speed run this a little bit. We could give
Speed run 80%. Go adjudicator.
no.
Lock
We'll have one person give thoughts. We'll all vote where to put it, and then one person who really wants to talk about it can talk about it. All right, adjudicator. Clay, what do you vote?
Nerf.
Nerf? Okay, Pips, what do you vote? He's trolling.
Like buff it hard, man. Like buff all of these.
Yeah, just buff the list. Put them all in buffet.
No. Serious tier list. Serious tier list.
Okay.
Oh, we're being
No.
Adjudicator, buff it.
Like slight buff or hard buff?
Like hard buff it.
Okay. Clay, what do you vote?
Okay, is serious or like
Serious.
What do we do? Serious mode? Like we have to like
Be
like
serious,
real shit?
bro.
No
I
means.
know you're hyped. I know you're ADHD. You're hyped up from those clips earlier.
I got
Be
amped.
for real, man. What if a dev is watching right now? Be on. Okay, well, if
Oh,
a dev's
shit.
if a dev's watching, obviously you would just say buff it. But what if a dev's not
Yeah.
watching right now?
Oh, okay.
I think that like okay, contextually, adjudicator is good against armored stuff,
Mhm.
but feels terrible to use.
Okay.
So buff it hard.
Okay,
Yeah,
we've got
it's
2
fast.
for buff it hard. FaZe. How do you feel about the adjudicator?
I think. Okay, let's just go with buff it hard. I was on the slight buff, but I was going to say that I was thinking
Nerf it.
All right, it's in
Nerf the
there.
fuck out of
It's
it.
in
Bit
there.
more ammo.
Wallasaurus Rex, nerf
It
it,
just
bro.
needs more ammo. So is that a hard buff? I mean, yeah, hard buff it. Give it 50 more bullets.
Nerf it.
Be fine. 50
I-
bullets in a mag.
For what it's worth, chat, I say nothing, man. I say do nothing to it. But these 3 both. No, I'm just kidding. Buff
You're
it
about
hard.
to
All
get it.
right.
Buff it hard.
Buff it hard.
Pummeler. I feel like I have the right to talk about this one.
Why'd you fix something that wasn't broken?
Revert it. Yep, revert it. Yep,
Okay.
I'm in the same boat. Revert it.
Pummeler-
It used to be good.
Pummeler, it's still
The good
fine
old
against
days.
bugs. What they wanted to do to it worked against bugs, but for some freaking reason, you could shoot a heavy devastator's arm off and it doesn't stun. Like, y'all actually fixed something that wasn't broken and broke it. All right, Pips, what do you think?
Yeah, revert it. But there is no option. I want to delete it from the game, but
All
there's
right,
not an
phase,
option, so-
skip Pips, phase.
Yeah, what is this tier list, bro?
Revert it.
What's wrong with this tier list?
All right,
I would
FaZe,
even slightly buff it, if I'm being honest. Slight buff.
that would be reverting it.
Yeah, but revert it and slight buff it.
FaZe, go ahead.
Revert.
All right, cool. Plasma
I'm slight
Punisher. What do we think
And
about
the
Plasma Punisher?
Can the nerf area be deleted from the game instead? Can we have that?
Clay. Oh, shit. I thought you were talking about my baby Rachel here. I was kind of like, yo, broke my heart.
Can't wait for Rachel to get
No.
brought
You
again.
good? You good? I just wanted. Yeah, there. Lock it.
Yes. Okay, Plasma, go.
PP.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I say nothing as well.
PP is perfect.
It's perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
FaZe.
Sorry, those clips that you've shown earlier clearly sent everyone crazy.
It has.
Laughing, I don't even know what.
FaZe.
The Plasma Punisher is nothing. Yeah, I agree. It's
All right.
really nice.
What'd you call it?
Purifier.
It's a curved PP.
Purifier.
Sorry.
We're all
I
we're all
wanna say-
voting buff it hard.
Yes.
Or delete it. Or delete it.
No.
Or take it out of the
Actually,
game.
I have reasoning behind it for deleting it from the game.
Okay,
One,
go ahead.
it was a pure mistake, and it's just a side grade Scorcher. It has no place in the game for what it is, and I genuinely think they should delete it from the game because it's a pointless weapon that should just be an attachment. Literally, it's just
So
it's
Pips,
a
you
wasted
agree
slot.
now? Pips, you agree with delete it?
No, not delete it. No, I think
so
that it
Pips
just
votes
needs a
buff it
damage
hard.
and area damage buff. Buff it beyond hard and imagination, and like whatever you can do, throw at it, and maybe it's useless. And if not, delete it.
All right, FaZe, tiebreaker. Delete it or buff it hard?
It feels really odd. Like, why is it even there? It needs a complete rework. So I guess that means delete it. And remake it. There's actually a guy, I think he's called Mogs HD, that makes videos about the purifier and how to use it.
I've seen those.
And says how it's good. And his comment section, he's
I know.
savage.
I know.
It's awful, man. It's
I've
like
seen
let
it.
the guy make some content about things he likes.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Realistically, it needs a complete rework, like a lot of people are saying.
Yeah.
All right,
To be
delete
serious.
it. Delete it. We got it. Wait, delete it. This is the meme for rework. There we go.
Just in case somebody,
There
just
we
in
go.
case there's a click to the end of the tier list.
There we
Andy in
go.
True.
There we go. All right,
Yeah,
tenderizer.
yeah.
Tenderizer. What are we thinking, boys? FaZe, you go first. You like the tenderizer.
I like the chicken tendy. Slight buff. It needs it's good against bots as it is. I think it's all right against bugs, but it just doesn't perform as well. I say slight buff.
Okay.
Hard buff.
I agree. Yeah.
You two say hard
Yeah.
buff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pull the wild card and say slight buff. So now we got 2 for slight buff, 2 for hard buff, which means revert it, as in revert.
then it's nerfed.
No. Don't revert the damage. Just give it the ammo back that they took away.
Oh, true.
Okay.
True.
It's not
Well,
gonna
if
be
a
enough,
dev
though.
watches this and tier list Andy clicks to the end of it, then he's just going to revert it to OG state. And he's gonna
Which
kill
would
the gun. So make sure
ultimately-
Alexis, slight
which
buff.
would
Make sure Alexis doesn't see
ultimately
it and revert it.
Be a slight buff.
But why not hard buff?
But we have 4 people, so we can't really tie it.
Okay,
Yeah,
actually
but we
curious.
should-
No,
we
I'm with Pips on this one. I want
We
to ask.
shouldn't tie it. Like, why slight buff though? That's
Well,
the
I think
question.
it's
Yeah.
fine against bots.
Yeah, but it's okay. Let me ask you this: how out of 10 games, how many times will you use it?
I have a better way to ask this,
Never.
Pips. Actually,
0.5
do you play the tenderizer like an assault rifle, or do you play it like a marksman rifle
marksman.
when you play it with against the bots? Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's an assault rifle. So it needs a hard buff to be an assault
needs a
rifle
buff,
because it
man. Ammo
plays like a
economy
marksman
buff,
rifle.
The damage
Right?
buff.
It
still
doesn't
in
play
that
like an
game.
assault rifle, so it's not an assault rifle. It needs a big buff. See?
No, listen, John, I don't secretly work for Arrowhead. I'm always like, I try to be objective, okay? There are some times
I'm just talking.
when I try to spread propaganda, like when I posted that video called Make the Railgun Great Again. That was propaganda. Well, it did need to become great
Good.
again. That's facts.
It was good.
It was true.
That's no you lab.
It was true, but it was also propaganda. But I try to be objective, okay? I give props where props are due. I call out bullshit when I see it. All right? Defender. What are we thinking on the Defender, boys? I say
Same.
nothing.
Yep, nothing. I think the defender is the perfect little SMG fun. It does what it needs
Well, it
to.
is a one.
It's a one-handed weapon. It's an SMG. I've never had a problem with it, and I think that it's been in a good spot since it came out. Maybe a durability buff, slight buff. To be honest, maybe a durability buff, so it feels a little better against the bugs. But I think overall, I think that defender feels pretty good.
All right, Pips, what do you think? Because you seem to disagree.
A slight buff, at least.
Okay. FaZe?
I don't use it enough to have an informed opinion
All
on
right.
it, so I'd say nothing.
All right. So we've
Slight
got
buff.
2 for slight
I
buff,
agree. Yeah.
1 for nothing, and 1 no real response, right?
Yeah.
All right, Eruptor. Okay, we all know where this is
Revert.
going.
Revert.
We all know where.
Revert.
Listen, bring the shrapnel back for the simple fact that it is a different type of bullet to shoot. Right now, it is just a bad autocannon.
Oh, it was
Yep.
so good back in the day.
One thing to bring up is when they removed shrapnel from the Eruptor, they also removed shrapnel from the fragmentation grenade, and the fragmentation grenade had a 2250 damage like cap or whatever, right? When it had that, so it could one-shot chargers and stuff, but nobody was really talking about the fragmentation grenade because everybody wrote it off as garbage. Now it hits for like 100 damage or something with the explosion. It's just bad. So when they only have limited stuff, they need to add shrapnel back into the game. The grenade doesn't get talked about. It's a worthless item in your inventory. It's just bad.
That.
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't know
they
that,
removed
right.
shrapnel from the exactly. Nobody knows. It's a grenade that you'll
I know
never
that.
use, right?
Yeah.
Revert.
Fair enough.
Revert. We need shrapnel back.
Yeah, revert. All right, diligence. Okay, so diligence, I'm pretty sure is suffering from the 1 damage movement tech, because this does 125 damage, and Devastator heads have 125 health. But unless you're
Something like-
moving forward, you can't one-shot them. I think if diligence genuinely one-shot Devastators, it'd be fine against bots. It would be
Something like-
amazing. Bro,
Can't
you
believe it's bad.
hold
Look at
on,
it as a-
hold on,
as
Clay.
a bot weapon? Yeah.
Hold on, Clay. You
You go
love
first.
the DCS.
That's not the DCS. That's the
No,
diligence.
listen. You love the DCS, right?
True.
Okay, imagine if the diligence one-tap Devastator heads. It literally has
Well, I mean,
more.
it already does. If you're not scared, you press hold W and left click, and it already does that. But my problem with it inherently is that like the DCS should probably be for bots, and that the diligence should be for bugs. So I think it needs to like wait.
Okay.
Like this is just my personal opinion, and I think the diligence should have like an extremely high amount of durable damage to be able to deal with like what a lot of the bugs throw at you. But the DCS is already perfect for the bots.
Have you
So I
tried
think
it
that
this
just needs a
patch?
niche role.
Have you tried diligence this patch?
No,
They buffed its durable
No.
damage in the last patch.
did they? Well, that's dope. Buff it more.
You gotta try it this patch.
Buff it.
No.
Buff it. Just
Buff it.
All right,
I'm
I'm
saying
down. I'm down. All right, okay, Liberator Peen.
buff it.
Ugh. 40,
buff.
45 damage.
Just buff
I
it.
say
Yeah.
delete it. Clay, you're with me? Delete it.
Yeah, I actually think it's another. I think that you're gonna have the one liberator from me that could be in the game, and then the rest should just be attachments.
I
to be
agree.
honest with you.
100%. That's true. There's no point in having these all. As soon as they make one liberator good, all of the rest are useless. There's no purpose unless you look at them as a skin, which doesn't make sense because they're not going to be skins. They're going to be weaker. So it's not going to make any point. Either they bump all the damage, or they make one good and take out all, and then focus on that one. That's it.
All right. So I put it in delete it because this is the meme for
Yeah.
rework. Imagine if
I
the
agree.
Liberator pen did 100% durable. So it's like a primary weapon because 45 durable damage in a fully auto assault rifle. I think this would legit be a gunship killer, which is insane to think
cookout.
about. It could be a cookout.
I don't know.
So I think if this
Toss-up.
did
You're
100%
right.
durable damage, it would be like a very niche pick against durable enemies.
I
It
agree
would
with
be
Lava. They
like
should nerf it.
I agree.
Remove it from the game.
FaZe,
Chat's
Keen.
right on this one.
I mean, I said buff it because I wanted it to be better, but I think the suggestion to delete it and rework it's probably better. So yeah.
Yeah, buff hard. Everything in this
Get that shit
tier.
out of there.
Okay, well, real quick though, is this better or worse than the Purifier?
I think both need to be deleted. Well,
Yeah,
phase
yeah.
shifter, you wanted the weapon workbench, so this
Clay,
would
Clay,
exist
Clay.
in your perfect game too.
Clay, if you had to
Okay,
take,
yeah, fair.
if you're going on a super Helldive mission and you have to take either the Liberator Peen or the Purifier, which one you taking?
Purifier.
Phase?
Probably the purifier, just from a meme standpoint.
Pips? You're going on a super
I'm not taking
Helldive.
any of them.
No,
He's
you're
just not gonna
going.
play.
He's had enough.
Play something
It's my
else.
choice.
with a
I don't want
secondary.
one of these weapons. I'm ready to die. Like, I'm not playing with these guns. It's like, no.
All right, Scorcher,
No,
Scorcher,
Pick up the pump shotgun from the ground somewhere when you find
Yes.
one and use that instead.
Scorcher, boys. What are we
Probably.
thinking about the Scorcher?
Oh,
I would like a little bit more ammo on it overall, like 2 or 3, maybe 4 more shots.
Revert it.
Yeah.
Revert
but
it.
Overall, I wouldn't, I think it's still pretty good. But the
Phase.
ammo economy is my biggest problem.
Pip says slight buff. Phase.
yeah,
Ammo
I think
buff,
so
yeah.
too. Yeah,
Ammo
I
buff.
think so.
Okay. Clay
Don't
said
touch the damage.
Clay said revert. I think he's trolling, but he might not
No,
be.
there was a thing that happened with it where they like changed the way that it said that it did damage. It used to be able to do some. So there was technology with low FPS in the Scorcher that was removed from the game.
Oh my god. But be quiet, Clay. Low FPS. Chat, did you
Yeah,
know
you
when you
could,
put
like-
did you know when you put the game on 30 FPS you don't take fall damage?
Did
Yeah,
you
I've
know if
heard
you
of-
had it under 10, you could make the Scorcher proc like 2 to 3 times on its explosion and kill
Okay,
things
buddy.
like really fast.
Okay, buddy. What do you really
Yeah.
think?
I think it needs a slight buff. I think it needs more ammo, but otherwise I think
Alright.
it's like
Yeah.
pretty locked in all
Ammo's the
around.
only one. Yeah.
More ammo across the board. Blitzer. What are we thinking, boys? Blitzer.
Nothing.
Phase, phase,
Blitzer's
phase.
nothing.
Nothing.
Why
I think it's-
phase?
I love the blitz. It's just solid. When you know how
It's
to
good,
use
man.
it, it's
Yeah, it's
fun
so
and
good.
it's got a bit of a nuance to it as well, which I really like. I just think,
Oh.
you know what? I feel like it's my favorite.
Yeah.
I love it.
Revert it.
Maybe the fix of like it.
Well, yeah,
chaining
the
to
fix, the
ground
fix.
Sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
Yeah, that's an arc problem in general, isn't it? I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
like,
But that wouldn't
Yeah.
classify as a slight buff, but it should
Nah.
just fix that. And apart from that, nothing, in my opinion.
Okay,
yeah, it's pretty
so
awesome.
everyone on the panel says nothing, but let me tell you guys why you're all wrong. It genuinely needs a nerf because it's not. I'm just kidding.
All
right.
Yeah.
Break or spray and pray, boys. Where we at with it?
Nerf.
Come on, Clay.
Buff it hard. It's fucking garbage. Or delete
Yeah,
it.
buff it.
It's
all right.
terrible.
Yeah.
Buff it
It's
hard.
terrible.
It's
Obviously,
terrible.
Clay. How would you buff it? Speedrun. How would you buff it?
Speedrun any percent. One, it shoots bird shot and it can't kill the birds. So like something like
All right. Clay says make it kill the birds. FaZe, how
so,
would you
like,
buff
no,
it?
It's serious buff mode though. It needs to be able to like it should have a damage modifier against shriekers specifically to be able to instantly kill them. Hunters are bird-like esque, and it should one-shot them within like 20 yards or 20 meters, whatever the game calculates.
I agree.
Yeah. It's just doesn't do enough damage.
No
So-
point of using it.
Scar's
There's
right,
better
too.
ones.
I say, truly make it the spray and pray. Give it like 15 more rounds. That would make it different from the breaker
wouldn't.
incendiary, which only has one less bullet.
Yeah. It needs all kinds of buffs, man. Like,
All right, crossbow. Where we at with it? Pips.
well, this one is like it's a weird one because like I just use it to close bug holes when I'm running my flamethrower. So I don't really use it as a weapon, which would mean that it needs a buff. Because if it was good, I would use it as a normal weapon. So yeah, buff it.
Okay. FaZe.
Slight buff, make it shoot faster.
Clay?
Somehow, like make the
Not trolling,
Yeah.
revert it. It was in launch state one of the flat out best horde clearing weapons in the entire game.
Yeah.
I can prove it. I can unironically prove it. It was fabulous at killing
That's
block
facts.
drops, amazing killing bug holes. It was in launch state amazing. Maybe it was because of the suck, but the radial damage fall off of its explosion was very consistent and really, really good when it first came out. It was in its best state and probably like A tier on like what I would tier list for horde clear specifically when it came out, and they completely gutted it. So it used to be good.
Just buff it hard.
Yeah, actually, I agree with that because I feel like it wasn't intended to do that, right? So they had to change it. But that's stupid. Like, if people
Now
are
it's
using
shaped
something, if people are using something in an unintended way, but it's not broken, then what's the issue? Don't fix something that's not broken. That's
smart.
the age-old the phrase. What I was gonna say before you mentioned that, because you're actually right. So now I agree with Revert It. What I was gonna say in its current state, I think if it had like 8 or 9 in the mag, it would honestly be.
It used to
also
have more
fine.
in the magazine as well. They nerfed that too.
Did
right?
it?
So like
Yeah,
it
it
was.
used to
Yeah, it had more. It had more everything. It was just
it
better.
did,
Did it? All right.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Then yeah, revert it. Goddamn. All right, counter sniper. Clay, I'll let you go. You love this gun.
I genuinely think that the diligence counter sniper is fine the way it is. I don't think it needs a buff. I think that in general, once you learn how to play around, maybe slight buff for more magazine size, but I think nothing is fine for the DCS. Once you learn how to play it well, it's just the best bot weapon, and there's just no contention around that for a primary.
He's talking about bots. All right,
bots.
That's fine though.
I would still give it more ammo. I just for me, I don't see why not and what it hurts instead of just people having more comfortable play.
Okay, phase.
Same with the ammo.
Ammo.
Yeah.
Clay, what's your thoughts on more ammo? Well, he's not going to say no.
I think no. I would. I think that the problem is once you inherently add too much ammo to too many guns, then like you do end up in a spot where you just have infinite ammo and you never need to resupply. But I do think that you do burn enough ammo with the DCS that maybe like one extra magazine would probably be like perfect for like gameplay feeling wise. 2 might even be too much, to be honest, because it's already really, really good. Yeah, there was a game specifically that we played, to go a little off topic, where 4 of us ran DCSs, and it was the 1587 bot kill game that I played with Thick Fillet, Vinny, and TV. So that was the game. We were all rocking DCSs and we were cooking. So I think it's already locked in. It's really solid.
All right. So unfortunately, we have an even amount of people. I also say nothing. They both say slight buff. Let's put it at the top to represent.
You can slight buff it. It is okay.
To represent that we're torn between these two because we have an even. What do? Flip a coin?
I like it at the top of nothing. I mean, I don't know. It's like I said, it's a toss up. Like again, like I think Pips, you agreed with like 1 magazine too, right? Like I think.
That's what I said. Like,
an extra magazine or extra in the mag.
Just 1 extra magazine would be perfect.
Okay.
Gameplay feeling wise.
Exactly. I'd quality of life increase than anything.
I'd make it OP. I'd be cool with extra mag. I thought you were saying more in the mag.
No.
Okay.
I think it's already good.
Firebreaker.
Nothing.
Delete it.
Phase.
Hear me out.
Leave it alone.
All right, I agree. Leave it alone. It's honestly like a lot of people only run this on bugs. I literally rarely run. Well, I've been using it more lately on some different builds, but I don't think you gotta do nothing to it.
If they nerf it now, it'll be like Railgun Gate all over again, but this time worse.
Oh, no,
dude, I can't wait till Fire Punisher, bro.
Yeah,
if you don't put the Fire Breaker down for the fire, as long as it staggers, as long as the Fire Punisher staggers, if you don't put the Fire Breaker down for the Fire Punisher, or at least to at least try it, you're trolling. The Fire Punisher is going to be so amazing.
I think the thing with the Fire Breaker is you just spray it across the screen and kill literally everything on it, and I feel like it's so good that it overshadows every other weapon in the game, and they're just not allowed to nerf everything else, so they have to make other shit better.
Bro, stagger is good. All right.
Needs less range, true.
All right, Knight. Where are we at with the Knight?
Just buff it hard.
I've never even used this gun.
Never used it. I don't think I have it.
I did an in-depth testing. I did an in-depth testing on this. It needs a slight buff in the damage department. It's a bullet hose, and it's really cool, but I don't think paywalled weapons should be in the game, so I think that they should delete it.
Agreed.
Pips, buff it hard.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just leave it up there. Dominator, where are we at with the Dominator?
Ooh.
Phase?
I really like the Dominator. I always have, though. Like, I just always have liked the gun. I like the way it feels. I'm a Warhammer fan. It feels like the closest thing to a bolt gun. I just really like the ergonomics of it. To be honest with you, I haven't played for a while. They've changed it a few times, haven't they? I can't remember what state it's in now, but from what I remember, it was pretty solid. I made those combo videos, and I was having a blast playing them, so Just leave it, I'd say, at the moment, and see what
Feel it.
happens with other weapons.
Felix, Lab, and Rendar all say it's perfect. And I play with Lab all the
It's
time.
decent.
This is his
No,
favorite
It's
gun.
decent.
This is his favorite gun.
It's decent, man. It's a great weapon. They've done a great job with the Dominator.
Pips, you got something to say about the Dominator?
Yeah, it needs more ammo.
More ammo? Honestly, when
Overall ammo, not in the mag.
when I use the Dominator, I kind of spam it a little bit. It definitely feels like it goes through ammo sometimes.
Yeah.
Clay, you okay?
Clay,
I just had my brain shook up. I sneezed hard, baby.
Clay, go ahead.
Dominator's locked in, bro. Nothing. It's good. It's good.
Okay. All right,
Just
we'll
looked
leave
at
it.
the
We'll leave
screen,
it.
so you have
Exactly,
some-
chat. One more mag. Yeah.
We'll leave it at the top of nothing, like the counter sniper. We feel about the same about these two. One more mag wouldn't hurt it. All right, the Punisher. What we thinking about the Punisher?
Buff it hard.
All the way up.
Buff it.
Yeah,
I can provide reasoning, but yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
I think so. I
listen.
think so.
I want to make a case for leave it because the Fire Punisher is coming to the game, baby. Just forget about this one. Just forget about this gun.
Actually,
We're using the
one of
Fire
main reasons why I
Punisher
wanted to talk about
in like
buffing it.
5 days. All right, go ahead.
One of the main reasons I want it to be buffed hard is because with the Fire Punisher coming, you have to think about the regular breaker versus the Fire Breaker, and it completely overshadows it, right? So I think that the Punisher should have a more defined meaning after the Fire Punisher comes out, because I think it's just going to get like completely. There's no reason you would ever use it with the Fire one coming out, so I think it needs to be buffed hard.
There's no even any reason to use it now, too.
Exactly,
Or, yeah,
which is
delete
why
it
we should
because
just
it's
leave
a
it. Yeah, just delete it.
attachment gun. Delete it because attachment gun.
All right. So you three say buff it hard. Pips, how would you buff it?
Damage.
Damage.
Like, it's always a damage issue in this game. That nothing feels like. It feels like I'm like throwing snowballs at bugs. Like, it's weird. I need
Wet
more
noodle.
damage. Yeah.
FaZe, how would you buff the Punisher?
I think it's based on kind of what was just referenced about the Fire Punisher. I think there needs to be a reason to use it over it. So maybe give it a bit more
great
stagger
point.
and a bit more physical damage or something. Whereas the Fire is going to have less stagger but damage over time as that compensation.
Mm-hmm. Clay, how would you buff it?
I would just like give it. What I would do is I'd make it rip off pieces easier, like like the arms, legs, whatever. Just give it like limb. Just make it the limb ripper. You know what I mean? Like I shoot a Brood Commander, rips 2 of its legs off on the side. Like it just make it like a cool, feeling, fun, impactful weapon that like strips targets. Because I think that would be sick.
Like sometimes when you use the
Make it
quite a
feel
lot of the time we use a blitzer when you ADS with the blitzer on a Brood Commander and you can take the heads off in one hit. It'd be nice maybe if Punisher had something like that about it as well. I don't know
They
how
did
you
that
get that in.
to the Tenderizer, by the way, where they did do that, where they added limb damage specifically. So I think making the Punisher have that like unique role as like a limb ripping weapon would be like really cool.
Okay, so someone in chat, when we were talking about the Fire Punisher, someone said, do we know how much less damage it'll do than the regular Punisher? Well, the Breaker Incendiary does, I just pulled it up, 240 damage, and the regular Breaker does 330. But with the Breaker mag size nerf, it has significantly less ammo. So, but if we could go from 240 to 330, it does 90 more damage. So it does like, what is that? At least over a third more. Here, let me do the math.
Yeah. Well, it's like a lot of these things though that we're going over. It literally you can see it that it's a customization problem. Like if there was upgradable weapons, you would have one of these and then you would upgrade it. Like it's the same with the Punisher, and like now we're gonna get the Fire Punisher, and as Clay said, there's gonna be literally zero reason to use this, even more than it is now. So you either balance it out or.
So the regular Punisher does 405 damage, if my memory serves me. If it kept the same ratio as the Fire Breaker to the regular Breaker, then it would do about 300 damage, which is slightly less than the regular Breaker, but it would light shit on fire. So you could just spray it into a crowd, stagger a bunch of shit, push them all back, and then they all die to the fire dot. So, I mean, I think it would be good like that. All right, Slugger.
Slam fire as well.
Slugger.
Slam fire would be lit.
Oh yeah, Slam. That's different though.
There was no reason in any reality why they nerfed the Slugger.
From what I heard, the devs thought this was a top 3 weapon, and I put it in mega D tier multiple times. I feel like I'm personally right about everything
listen,
I say
hold
all
on,
the time.
hold on.
Revert it.
We all know where it goes, but does it go above Eruptor, below Eruptor, above Pummeler, below Pummeler? FaZe, where would you put
bottom
it?
of the list, revert it dog shit. Like it's literally the
No.
dumpster fire of revert it.
The top of the list is the most revert.
Revert.
For
Okay.
the bugs, it was amazing, bro.
shit.
Like you would snipe things.
FaZe, where would you?
I felt like
Where would you put it? At the
Great.
top of revert? Like it needs reverted more than the Eruptor needs reverted, or less?
Yeah, bro, it needs it more because this was like a staple, loved weapon that everybody fucking played with at the very start of the game. You started the game with this weapon above the Eruptor, bro.
Everybody played the Breaker for ages when the game came out,
Most
and I can
revert.
remember when people started
overrated.
going, actually, the Slugger's actually really good, and it was absolutely
I
insane.
remember when people started using the Slugger because I had
Yeah.
the first Slugger YouTube video, the most underrated primary in the game.
I remember getting flamed in the first tier list that I made for not saying that it could break open doors.
I know. Oh yeah.
There was like 50 comments of people like, bro, it can break doors. You underrated it. I was like, okay. And
All
then
right.
they nerfed the door thing.
Pips, does it need reverted more or less than the Eruptor?
I think on the same level, man. There was
Okay.
just no reason. Same with Eruptor. Like, what is the reason behind these things?
Yeah.
Like,
bonkers decisions.
yeah,
Bonkers
they're
decisions.
not killing Titans in one shot. They're primaries. Like, like let it be.
Man,
Fine, they were fun.
I'm torn on this issue because on one hand, I have a love for stagger weapons. Like, look, bro, these are the stagger weapons and look where they are. And here's the other shit stagger weapon and look where it is. Okay? I got a love for stagger weapons. So on one hand, I think more. But on the other hand, I got a love for different bullet types. Like, this is like a bad autocannon, like I said. But like, shrapnel is cool. Like, when you shoot it and you see that explosion. And like, on the other hand, I started my YouTube playing Borderlands. And there's all kinds of different guns in there. So I feel really strongly about the Eruptor. I don't know. I agree with Pips on the same level. They both need reverted equally. All right, Scythe.
I think the Slugger's the defining, like, why did they do this thing?
True.
Oh, it's okay.
True. So it was Eruptor. I know people who stopped playing the game over Eruptor.
Oh, what happened to the Concussive Liberator? Delete it? I agree, though.
Yeah, no.
Just slip that one in there, huh? Thought nobody was
Do
looking.
we
Delete
need
it.
to discuss this? Guys,
Okay,
anybody
we
has any
should,
thoughts?
Because it's a tier list. We could talk about it. The people want to
We'll
talk
do it
about
later.
Think
We'll do
Concussive
it later.
Liberator.
We'll do it later.
He's
Scythe.
mad. Scared.
Scythe.
No, why are we talking about Scythe?
Scythe.
Delete
God.
it too.
All right, Pip says buff it hard.
Buff it.
Oh,
Like,
like up
I-
here though. Wait, this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
this
like
is
all the
unordered.
way.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
nothing.
All the way. Delay, like push it.
What would
know?
you do to the
Please,
scythe
Pips.
to make it good, Pips?
Please. What? Okay, like somebody in chat says Pips wants more damage for every. Yes, I want more damage, bro.
Yes.
They should
He's
feel
pretty
powerful.
clear on
We're
that.
playing a PvE game. When I shoot this laser, I want to see a bug's head just drill through. That's what I want. Like I don't.
And guys, that's a fair
Oh, I feel the
opinion.
hunter.
We all got different opinions on this panel, okay? It's a good opinion to bring to the table. You know why? Because a bunch of people in chat agree with him. A bunch of people.
Damage.
I disagree.
Exactly. See? And why do you disagree?
Well, the main reason that I disagree is that the site's damage is probably okay. However, Mr. Pips is right. After doing extensive actually testing, it misses a lot of its damage ticks depending on ping, depending on who you're connected to, depending
Great
on
to know.
FPS. It literally just doesn't do damage. So unironically, the scythe does need more damage because it misses half of its damage ticks.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
FaZe.
So he's right. It does need more damage.
FaZe, what was
But it
your
would need more
last
damage if it wasn't like that.
experience with the scythe? Tell us the last time you picked up this bad boy and what was going
The
through
last
your
time
head.
The last time I picked up the scythe was when I was trying to make like a laser setup, and then I just kept thinking I'd rather use a sickle.
That's
Yeah,
what was
it's a good
going through your
point.
head. You'd rather use the sickle. Fair. So
Yeah,
I
and that's so. Go on. Sorry.
no. You. My bad. I interrupted. My bad. I do that too much.
Oh, we're so polite to each other. I love this. So I think that the scythe just needs a bit more character to it. And I know it's a laser, and I know that it sets things on fire a little bit or whatever. There's got a heat mechanic to it, but I just feel like it needs something else to it to make me pick it over the sickle.
Okay.
It just feels bad to use. I
I
think that's
agree.
the main thing, is it just feels bad because if it didn't miss damage ticks all the time, it would be great. But because it does, it needs a lot.
Listen,
So, that's how it goes.
I would like to bring up an interesting point that I think no one has picked up on. So in Revert, we've got Slugger, we've got Pummeler. In Buff It Hard at the top, we've got Scythe. What is the trend here? It is Stagger. The devs keep nerfing the Stagger away, and on top of that, what we kind of universally agree is the worst gun is the gun that has no Stagger. It doesn't push any bugs back. Like the sickle, you know why the sickle's good? When you shoot a hunter with it, they like twitch a little bit and they stop their leap.
Flinched.
So we need more stagger in the game. You know it would be nice if you shoot a bot and it staggers them. And then the 20 other bots shooting you kill you. But listen, but when you 1v1 that one bot, it'll at least feel good. Because if you get the first shot off, you can win. And it feels fair.
Yeah.
It feels more fair.
It kind of one-shots almost like all the bots already, though, if you hit them in the head.
It's hard to hit them in the head,
Zoxy's
though.
just said something pretty cool in the chat as well. Just mentioned about adding armor type effect with heat weapons. You know, it softens the armor, makes them take a bit more damage, turn it into a more of like a support weapon. I mean, that's completely left field, but I do like that idea of softening armor, perhaps, or
lowering
bringing more
defense.
damage. Yeah, that would be interesting. Maybe.
Everyone talks about the armor thing. That would be really cool if they add that into the game somehow. Like, I'm pretty sure Chargers as an enemy and Bile Titans as an enemy have armor plates that are separate parts of them that get blown off. So it's like kind of in the game, but it's not really a mechanic. It's a mechanic of those two enemies, right? But if they could like universally add that, a lot of enemies would need their textures separated. Like Hive Guards don't have that. Devastators don't have that. It's like if you could get like the laser to focus on one point, that it actually removes that armor. That would be really cool.
That's I'm gonna answer one comment real quick. Will Geg, that's actually not true. You say he says how the gun's numbers work matters less than how the gun feels. I'll give you a gun that does 3 damage and it will feel amazing. And let's see if you use it. You're simply not gonna use it.
Well, if it
There
does,
has to be a combination of both. It has to do damage and it has to feel good. Like a lot of stuff might feel good. Tenderizer, in my opinion, feels great. It's probably one of the best feeling weapons in the game. Sounds great, feels good, but I'm not going to use it because it's not enough if you're playing on Helldive at least.
you know, that's fair because I actually also kind of think if a gun feels good, people do perceive it as good. I do think there is a balance of it. But that's a good point because you brought up
it's interconnected.
You brought up the tenderizer feels good, but it's not super good all the time.
It really feels good. I love how it feels and sounds, like the recoil pattern. Everything about it is just so good. But there's just so many better options that will kill faster, kill more in the same time that I'm just not going to pick it.
There's always a trifecta of weapons to make you want to use them, and it's gun feel, the overall impact it has on the game, and then just I guess handling kind of goes in there, but like, I'm gonna say this, like you said, there's perceived good and bad, and like that trifecta gets rounded out by how the gun is just perceived, and like whether like guns can feel terrible to use and have high damage, and people just use them, right? Like the Eruptor feels terrible to use, but when like the old Eruptor, like it felt terrible, but you used it because it did a lot of damage.
Yeah,
and it like and it had high impact. It had so much impact on the flow of the game that you used it anyways, right?
I think
so there's a whole bunch of ways to talk about it. But
to go off what you're saying, Clay, is I think the Slugger was in that boat because people try to roast the dev for saying this was like a top 3 gun, but a lot of people were saying that. I could show you plenty of YouTube videos of people saying that this was the no, not that it felt great, that this was the best primary in the game. And in my opinion. No, I'm not arguing that.
I agree with you.
I'm saying that.
No, I agree with you.
I'm saying a lot of people say that, and their YouTube videos are playing on Helldive. And for me personally, I always said it was underrated. So it was better because before I posted my video, I saw a bunch of tier lists putting this in like D tier. I'm like, this is not a D tier gun. This gun is good. It's not the
solid B
best.
tier, straight middle. It was perfectly fine.
But what I'm saying is that the Slugger is one of those guns where it was underrated. It is a good gun, but a lot of people weren't using it. And then when people finally used it, they realized, oh, this is better than I thought, but it also feels really good. So then people were calling it the best in the game. And a lot of people were calling it the best in the game at that point in time. This was right after the Breaker nerf, like patch 2. Right after the Breaker got
On
nerfed.
that same patch, this gun also reloaded half of its ammo on resupply.
Yeah.
On top of that, it also had issues where you couldn't pull it up properly, right? So
And then
like it had
And then it
some
got
bad
that
gun
ammo
feel
buff.
to
It got that ammo buff though.
well, that
too.
was that was far later though, right?
That was like
on
patch
the patch
3,
that
wasn't
got
it?
on the patch that it got nerfed, it got the ammo buff. So,
Was it? No.
Yeah.
That was the patch before.
Yeah.
That was the patch
No.
before.
No, they gutted it and then they fixed the ammo.
Did they?
Yeah, they gutted it and then they fixed the ammo economy.
I think those are 2 different patches.
I kind of I agree with you in the sense that it was good, but when I think about like Helldive difficulty and then like I brought it and there was like 10 devastators on the screen and like one of the reasons it got nerfed is because you could stun lock one of them. I was just like you're dead if you have it, because you like at that stage of the game, like there was a lot of bugs, right? Like and you'd have 20 devastators shooting you. You would
You
stun
could
one of them
stun
and
no,
let
you
another
could
stop
you
you,
could stun lock
right?
groups of devastators. There was multiple times when I would land with my squad and I'm the only one with a stugger and I would literally go 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 and then my team would kill them.
I guess.
I would be
Yeah, I
inaccurate.
guess.
I would shoot them in the chest, but I would be staggering
Yeah.
them while my team
Like-
could like get their shit together because we're just
But that's
landing.
a niche roll that shouldn't have been removed, right?
Yeah,
That's
it shouldn't
kinda
have been
what I'm saying.
removed.
Like it's
No,
why
no,
it's
no,
in
no.
revert it. Like it shouldn't have been removed. Yeah.
No, no, no,
But at
but
the
that-
same time, it's like, why would you stun them when you could just kill them? You know.
Well, because a lot of guns didn't kill them.
So it's give
All right.
and take. We agree and disagree with each other. At the
No,
same
no,
time
no.
on
We're
this
not
one.
disagreeing.
Yeah.
I was going off your point of the trifecta where there's like how it feels, how it actually
Delete it.
does. All right.
It's very subjective as well, though, isn't
Sorry,
it?
I'm just
But I
playing like
think
devil's advocate as well. To
I
try
know,
and
I know.
be-
Because
Yeah,
it
it's
is
so
also
it's a
skill
subjective
dependent.
thing. It's so subjective. It's like people like to play up close and personal weapons. Like I love the Blitzer probably more than a lot of people just because of the way it feels moment to moment. Because that's how I like to play. I like tanking in MMOs as well. Like I like being up close. I like playing melee
Yeah,
characters.
exactly. It is build dependent, right?
Thank you, video
For
game
sure.
mom. You always have my back.
You're all right. You're all right, guys. You're all
Well,
right.
video game mom's right because she's paid money.
It's a good
Yeah, I actually
conversation.
Out of
forget what
thick
I
is
said.
wrong.
She's doing it right,
It's
yeah.
a good conversation. Video game mom with the $5 says you could stun like 3 at most before one of them shot. And that's fair. That's
There
fair.
you go. So thick lied, video game mom's right, and this is a
video
pay-to-win
game
area.
mom is one of my viewers, the lover of the slugger. We're finally talking about it, video game mom. Pips, anything else to add to the slugger conversation?
No, I think that there was just in general. I feel like this is when the game starting from the moment the game came out. When it comes to primary weapons, none of the weapons needed a nerf. That's just my opinion. I don't think none of them needed a nerf. They needed maybe a rework and buffs. Sure, Slugger wasn't like Slugger was a build dependent weapon. I used to use it with my flamethrower. It felt great because I would kill the little ones, and then when a big one would run up to me, like warrior or whatever above that, boom, one shot to the head. It felt good. It felt snappy. I liked it, and that's that. Like I don't understand why it got nerfed. I think it was just fine. It didn't feel OP.
You know, Pips, that's crazy, everything you just said. You said patch 1, nothing needed to get nerfed. And guess what's up next? The Breaker. Patch 1.
Yes, because
Patch
you guys,
1.
Oh my god.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He's right.
This weapon. God,
is
why
right.
did they lower the ammo on this? Like,
Yeah.
what did that change apart from make it uncomfortable to use?
Yes.
Like it was like that's all it really was, right? They kept that. It's just unnecessary little things, man. And it shows you there's some kind of fear of people using strong weapons. And I really hope I understand it's not an easy job and everything, but I really hope that the devs take one thing that the other that I was talking about the other devs, and this is going to take me like 30 seconds, sorry, but I really want to point this out. The devs said, for example, in one of the games that we're playing right now, Clay is also playing it in that blog post, and this was just so perfect what they said. They said, if we ever nerf something, never fear of us nerfing it to the point that we do not value the time you invested into the item. We will always make a change so that it benefits you, even maybe in a different way, but in a better way. So if we change some mechanic, the other mechanic that we will add to it will make it even feel better. So and that is a good feeling when you know that, oh, I farmed for this weapon, or I got this weapon, whatever, from the warbond. I invested 15 hours, let's say, or whatever, and I know that it's gonna be mine. It's gonna feel good, and the devs understand that and they value my time. That's it.
To add to that, Video Game Mom with the 5 says, I like pump action shotguns. I hate how the Plas Punisher feels. Give it shells, reload. I wanted that too when the Plas Punisher first came out, because I do like that feeling, and I really like the Plasma Punisher. So I do like that feeling. To add to what Pips was saying, when I played Borderlands and they would nerf guns, I always said, never nerf the mag capacity. Never make me reload a gun more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just never do it. It just
Reloading
makes it
boring.
uncomfortable.
Helldivers are terrible as well.
Uncomfortable was the word. That was a good word, because it makes it uncomfortable. Like, I hate reloading my gun, bro. It's like getting ragdolled. Like, when you're ragdolled on the floor, you're not doing anything. When you're reloading your gun, you're not doing anything. It's
When you step on a
uncomfortable.
pebble, you reset your reload. There's so many bad mechanics. And the other thing too is, like, when we talked about the Punisher with the new Fire Punisher coming out, why would you ever take the normal breaker over the fire breaker? You just wouldn't. It's pointless, right? They made the gun pointless. And I think that the gold standard for all the guns in the game should have been launch breaker. And I know that some people disagree with like why, but I could provide endless examples and reasons. Like, we could be for 5 hours. I know we don't want to be talking about it, but it's just like, it was how a real shotgun, if you've ever shot a real shotgun in real life, and it gave you the power fantasy of what a shotgun should be, and it felt good to use. And sure, it might have been OP, but that's because everything else was so dog shit that it looked
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which one's better now? If you had old style breaker or
Firebreaker.
current style
Firebreaker's still
Firebreaker?
better by like a
Yeah.
lot. Like, that's the
So-
problem, is it's still
so-
too much better.
Which one would you say should be the bar, though? If we forget about the whole, we can't nerf the Firebreaker anymore.
Launch breaker.
Which one would you say? Okay.
Launch breaker's
And
my
that
bar
should be the
for-
gold standard bar.
that should be the goal.
All
Like,
right.
it's like, I think that, and I think that the DCS is also in the same boat of where launch breaker is now, or the DCS is now where the launch breaker was. And I think that, like, that's my gold standard weapon is like the current diligence counter sniper. So that's
Cool.
kind of
Yeah.
my thing.
Fire is not busted, bro. Fire is not busted at all, Chaser. Fire does what it should do in the game. I mean, I don't think it's
I
busted
wish
at
that
all.
it proc.
All right, hold on, guys. Hold on. We got another 5 from Video
Damage
Game Mom.
protocol.
Was using Slugger while everyone is using Breaker. The change pissed me off more than you know. We'll never forgive Alexis, unfortunately. And another 2, the guns should feel fun to use. Definitely agree.
Exactly.
Definitely agree. Video Game Mom knows, and I know too, because we've talked about this. I always point out Alexis was just the dev talking. Most of the devs probably mostly agree. Like, I'm sure, you know, they have differing opinions as well, but they probably only make changes based on what they all agree on. But we know Alexis was talking about it for sure, so they caught the heat. But Video Game Mom, definitely everything else with the Slugger, with guns should feel fun to use. Even with the, I agree with you on the Plasma Punisher. I could probably find somewhere I said that before about the Plasma Punisher. I do like the rounds reload. And you already know. We talked about this. All right, where are we at with it? Where are we at with it, boys? Liberator. Let me
Oh,
go.
God.
Let me go first. I say nerf it. And let me tell you why. Because the devs want to balance the game around the Liberator. And I think that you just shouldn't. This is the starter gun. Let it be the starter
Would that be
gun.
delete it then?
No, nerf it.
Well, why would I get nerfed? You told me not to troll.
I'm
now
not
you're
trolling, bro.
dude.
I'm
You're
not trolling.
dude.
I'm not trolling. I'm sending a message.
yeah. Me too.
Yeah, delete it.
Buffed hard.
I'm with
Delete
delete it. No, Pips, it's the starter gun, bro. Let it be the starter gun.
Well,
Don't.
look, I'm coming from the perspective of they don't look at it that way, and they are not going to remove these
That's
guns
fair.
out of nowhere.
That's fair.
They're not going to do it, right? I agree with you, but I also need to look at the reality, and the reality is I don't think they'll do it unless they completely change and add customization and attachments. Then I can see, and I agree 100%. But I don't think that's going to happen. That's why I say buff it hard.
Okay,
I think that they will add attachments. If I could give an opinion on it really quick about the Liberator, I think that like if attachments got added, it would be a nothing weapon in the current state buff. But like in general, if they added attachments, then it would just be nothing, and then you could just mod it to be do what you need it to. Because I think that right now the Liberator is like baseline solid, and it's a great starting gun too. But they need attachments to make you feel good with it, right?
I just realized we don't have a Liberator Carbine. Okay, because I wanted to say, if you guys say buff it, because that's not how the devs look at it, that's fair. But I wanted to say they definitely balanced the guns around the Liberator because the Tenderizer came out, same damage as the Liberator. The Liberator Penetrator, more armor pen, less damage than the Liberator. They just forgot to buff this one. The Liberator Carbine, same damage as the Liberator, just one stat different. Like, bro, they balance the game around.
It doesn't feel like there's any variety really with those types of weapons.
That's why I said, like, yeah, if we discuss Tenderizer and we all agree it feels probably the best, right, out of these, right, then, and if that even needs a buff, then I think all of them are going to need a buff, or as you guys said, just take them out and rework it.
I think that all of this becomes irrelevant too with the weapon workbench as well.
Yeah,
because then everything gets exactly
100%.
where you need it to be. And I think that like that's what needs to happen, and that needs to be the resource dump after just, you know,
I agree.
that's all it really needs to be.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Give us the workbench. Yeah.
Could we have a moment of silence, everybody in chat? You know what? Obviously, chat's not going to do a moment of silence. Put a 1 in chat if you're happy there's no assault rifle in the next warbond. Finally, guys. A warbond with no assault rifle. No assault rifle. Alrighty. Alrighty. Sickle. What are we feeling about the sickle? FaZe, I know you love this gun.
I love it. I think it's fine as it is. I think it's a really, if you use it as kind of like a switch weapon off your secondary and just use it to kind of continue the onslaught, and then also use the, I've forgotten the name of the revolver. Peacemaker, is it? Is that right?
Which Senator?
The revolver?
Senator.
Sorry, thank you. Like using the sickle and then having the Senator on switch with that, like you could do some really fun stuff. I did that AMR video and just like playing the sickle and the AMR and the Senator against bots. If you can get into a rhythm with those 3 guns, it just feels great. And if you obviously manage your heat, you never reload. I love it. Absolutely love that weapon. Think it's great.
I agree. I agree. Definitely what FaZe said as well. More of a bot weapon, in my opinion. But from that standpoint, more of a bot weapon, I say leave it.
I'm going to say nothing, but the comment about discovering that the new flamethrower is a assault rifle in disguise made me laugh pretty hard.
Where was that?
What are they gonna what are they gonna categorize it under? Just fire or like energy? Like what is it gonna be?
Yeah.
Probably just fire.
Pips, sickle.
Probably nothing.
Sickle's
Okay.
solid.
Yeah, I think it's solid. So we'll put it here.
The thing.
Here.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
It could sit anywhere.
All right, the concussive liberal. That's what I wrote, I guess.
Just delete it.
It doesn't it feel like you can feel it now when we're doing this tier list. Every they are coming, Liberator written.
Wait, FaZe, you're cutting out a little bit. You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh,
go again.
Really?
Go again.
How about now?
You're good.
I just said,
now.
don't you feel like every time something with Liberator in the name, it just makes you go, oh, like
Yeah.
It's just bleh. They need to do something about this. Get rid of it.
Yeah. Video game on with the 10. Honestly, you guys need to light a fire under the balance team's ass with the weapons and the bot front just getting ragdolled to death nonstop and having no answer to very durable enemy spam. Agree. Did we talk about gunships on the last podcast?
Yes. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. I think we talked about gunships on the last podcast. I think one really good change to gunships would be making their thrusters light armor and then nerfing their durable health by like 5%. That would make them immediately feel better for every medium type of enemy or a type of primary. But definitely agree. That's why we're doing the buff tier list as well, Video Game Mom. We got you. We're bitching about everything. Look, everything above like this tier, we're bitching. This is like slight bitch, pretty big bitch, heavy bitch. That's what we're doing right now. So we got you, Video Game Mom. Thank you for another 10. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Concussive Liberator, Pips, Clay.
Yeah.
It's a weapon attachment. Just delete it.
Makes no sense.
All right,
Just doesn't make sense.
Liberator Carbine.
Another weapon attachment. Just delete it.
But
Feels bad to use.
what would you do to buff it?
Delete it.
Add a bayonet and let me melee with it. Seriously, that's what I would do because it has no niche or role that I would like. I take the Liberator versus the bots, not the bugs. It shoots too fast. It's a little too inaccurate for the bots for me, and I bayonet. That's it.
Video Game On with the 2 says, and give us cover. There is none. Pips, Liberator Carbine. Thank you, Video Game On.
Yeah, it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. If for me personally, if it's the tenderizer, feels better, sounds better, does more damage, it's just better. So there's no reason. For
I
me to
say
use this.
I say the bayonet because it's themed with the warbond with the armor that gives you melee damage. That would literally be themed. Like
Yeah.
that would be spot on.
Give things meaning, feeling, and like, you know what I mean? Like impact. Like that impact is a very important part of a weapon, and this just has the same impact as a defender, but the defender's better.
Does this go into delete tier? I think so, right?
I would delete it, but yeah. Personally.
But also on top of the bayonet, more mag size, because like, bro, this thing's got like the sickle's got like double the mag. Like, what's the point? Or
no point.
Under barrel grenade launcher.
I did say that too long ago in a faraway place. Underbarrel grenade launcher, underbarrel shotgun. And I think the underbarrel shotgun would give you that like Starship Troopers vibe, where like Rico's like it would be cool. You know, it'd be really cool.
I like it.
Just cool.
I like it. All
Let's
right.
put the Quasar and a big rocket.
Those were in the same folder, and I accidentally added them.
Oh, is what it is. Buff them both.
Anyways, that's all the primary weapons. This tier is like, seriously take a look at it. This tier is like, seriously revert it. We got the big buff patch. I think that goes to show that like a lot of the previous nerfs could still get reverted. And then this tier is buff it hard. Although I think the Adjudicator and Tenderizer and Punisher could be more in the slight buff tier, but still buff. Still buff.
No nerfs.
Yeah, nothing nerf.
No. Please, like when the next patch note drops, like I don't just, the only thing I want to see nerfed is the bots. Nerf the bots if you want to, and they're ragdolling, bro. I think everybody's gonna be happy with that. But like, there's no need to nerf the weapons. There really isn't. And this isn't coming from a spot where people, oh, you want everything to be easy. No, I don't. I always try to challenge myself by the hardest thing in the game, and the game's already easy. It's not about that. It's just about the power fantasy. We're playing a PvE game, guys. This is not a PvP world championship, right? So I feel like when there's so many beautiful weapons, they should feel strong. So we have fun. That's all it is, really.
I also
Beautiful
think
words from a beautiful man.
I also think
exactly. I agree.
those were beautiful words from a beautiful man. But I also think one thing Video Game Mom mentioned, making the bots feel better. I think one thing that always needs to be pointed out is medium armor. 100 armor value, you take the same damage from wearing light armor if it's a headshot. So
yeah,
like,
it's like that weird, yeah. They
remember-
need to revert headshot.
remember when they buffed?
Oh my god, 2 more hours of ranting.
Remember when they buffed armor? If you're wearing heavier armor, you take less headshot damage. Well, they made it over 100. They did not include 100 in that. I'm pretty sure I've seen some YouTube videos. So like medium armor in the head, you should take less damage than light armor. What do you guys think? I mean, that makes sense. It makes sense.
Say that again. You should take more damage headshot damage when wearing light armor.
Yeah. No. Less headshot.
Okay.
Yeah. Less headshot in the head.
I mean,
if you're wearing medium armor.
It all comes back down to what we were talking about before with heavy armor not letting you get staggered. Like that, what you've just said would make sense if they could add some more merits and distinctions between all the armor classes. Like, give me a reason to choose medium over light if I'm doing certain X, Y, Z things. So yeah, I think you're onto something. But it's just a case of figuring it out.
If you want to wear medium armor against the bots, take that medium padded. You get that higher armor value. Gavin with the 10 also says they should add Ragdoll negation to heavy armor as an overall passive. This way, heavy armor will have an actual use outside of just looking cool. So yeah, either anti-Ragdoll, anti-stagger, uninterruptible stims. There could definitely be more usefulness for heavy armor because the way the bots work, unless you're wearing at least medium padded, I'm pretty sure it might even be heavy padded. Any rocket will one-shot you in the head unless I think you're wearing either heavy padded or medium padded. But hold on, there's two different rocket headshots. I think Hulk headshots are different from regular rocket headshots. So if you're wearing heavy padded, you can live like a Hulk rocket headshot or something. But I don't know. It's something weird. It's like a really, I barely remember it. That's the point. It's like a really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like niche circumstance that you actually need to wear heavy padded armor. There should be more reasons for sure. Video game on with the 10. Currently headshots doesn't reduce jack even in heavy. Give that to light armor and scale that up to heavy. Give medium armor less stagger and heavy armor no stagger.
Hire video game mom for the dev team. I also don't see any W's in chat for video game mom. She looking after us.
Yeah.
WIDs.
Hell yeah. At least on the panel of people to listen to, because genuinely so many people agree with video game mom. And that's why it's nice to have 4 panels of people, because we all give different opinions and a lot of different people in the community listen to or agree with our different opinions.
They agree with me.
And there's also people out there who say they want the fantasy of being a grunt and they should nerf stuff because the game should be harder. And that's also fair.
Need to play another game. No, they need to understand how gaming works too. And listen, we agree to disagree. We're grown-ups. There's no problem with that. But some things are just factually incorrect. And if I understand maybe some feelings are getting hurt, but like it is what it is. Like it is what it is. If you keep saying like people that say skill issue when playing bots against ragdolling, it's like, okay, I'm not even gonna, you know what I mean? That's not a skill issue. That's a mechanical issue that needs to be fixed. There's nothing.
Bro, stop getting shot through walls, man. It's your fault.
Yeah, yeah.
Great podcast. Yeah, great podcast, guys. We're about to wrap it up. Video game on with another 5. I have been headshotted into Ragdoll, into Impact Death, in heavy armor.
Skill issue.
Me too.
Feel your pain.
Skill issue. Never happened to me a single time.
You know, video game mom skill issue. Maybe you should have worn Democracy Protects and lived.
I have extra sunglasses to give you, video game mom. Don't worry. We'll lock in. You'll never die again.
You should have worn Democracy Protects and beat 3 coin flips. Okay, that's the true answer. Just beat 3 coin flips next time. Those people need to go back to the democracy camps. We appreciate it, video game mom. All right, we about to wrap it up. Thanks, video game mom. We about to wrap it up. Any of you guys streaming?
Not right now, but later.
I'm gonna be going live. Yeah.
You're going live right now, Pips?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be up in 4 hours. So, yep.
Go check out Pips right now. Go check out FaZe later on today. He's on that EU time. We're gonna raid Pips right now, actually. So just stick around in the stream. Go check out Clay when he's on tonight. I think they're playing some
podcast, guys.
Some First Descendant.
Yeah,
they did.
Great fun.
Always a pleasure.
Great
Always
fun.
a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
GG's, thanks for having me. Love
Always.
you, chat. Thank you guys for being awesome. Everybody, thank
Chat.
you for coming. Thank you for vibing.
Thanks,
Thanks for
folks.
showing up. Thanks for hanging out with your boys.
Legends.
I hope you have a beautiful.
Legends.
I hope you had a beautiful weekend, beautiful Sunday, depending where you are.
And put a 1 in chat
boys.
if you think we could do a 6-person panel. I don't think we can, but I would like to.
I'm gonna start up the stream.
Go for it.
And thank you, boys.
Appreciate
Later,
it, guys.
bro.
It was a pleasure as always. Love you guys, man.
Later, bro.
Have a good night.
Worst with the 50.
The worst. He's there.
Worst
He's
with
there.
the 50. Says, thanks, guys. Dude, big salutes in the chat for Worst. Big
What's up, bro?
salutes. Worst, I appreciate you. All right, it's just me and you, FaZe. What's up, brother?
Yo, what happened there?
Clay also left. Clay, I know you're in the chat lurking. I love you, brother. Worst, I appreciate you. Video Game Mom, I appreciate you. We're going to go raid Gavin. I appreciate you as well. And we just wanted to bring you guys different opinions for the new update. In the pinned comment, you could find Phase Shifter. You could find Clay. You could find Pips. We're going to go watch some First Descendant right now. Are you two going to kiss? Wrong way. All right, boys. We'll be on next week after the big update, talking about everything. I was late, so rewatch, and I'll probably stream tonight as well. I'll see you later, Worst.
When are you on tonight? I'll jump in with some games. I'm streaming as well. Can maybe jump on together.
Your EU time, so probably when you're sleeping.
We'll see. We'll see. No work tomorrow, so.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Stick around. We're gonna go
See you later,
raid.
folks.
We're gonna go raid Pips.